People, make sure that you go ahead and check out the Beeline Entertainment Stuff and Things shop. We got all merchandise that you're looking for. Everything to promote the show. That's right, from hats to glasses to cups to sweatshirts to t-shirts, you name it. Boys, girls, babies, whoever wants to show off that they love watching the Beeline Entertainment LLC. We can't wait to see you in your brand new gear. Come on and check it out today. Let's go!
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What's happening? It's Thursday, baby. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I just literally had to transition back into my studio, man. I feel so good being back into the place where hopefully I hope that you guys can hear me better. Like I'm in a more secluded area back in the studio, man. This is why I started day one Beeline shit right here in this studio, the Beeline Studios. But y'all don't want to hear about that boring sob story. Y'all want to hear it's Thursday, baby. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Kyle, everything good? Y'all hear me okay? Okay, awesome. Just making sure. But guys, it's Thursday, man. That means it's another episode of the Beeline Entertainment. I told y'all that I was not taking no time off currently until my little break that's coming up this summer. But guys, we found out we actually going to be rolling smooth. There's going to be a show every single week up until the week of July 16th. That week we'll have our last show, and then we won't be back. We'll be taking a nice little season finale break. I'm having a new baby, so we got some stuff to do, and we'll be back mid-September. I'm looking forward to it. I ain't gonna lie, man. We've been working really hard for almost a year straight at this point, and looking forward to go back and get away and then come back for you guys. But yo, listen. This is the Beeline Entertainment, and if you guys haven't already, I want you guys to go on, head on over to YouTube and the Beeline Entertainment LLC network channel, whatever you want to call it, and go ahead and subscribe. Yo, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications. It'll let you know when each one of our shows are on. We host 3 shows a week, and this is the last one of the week until I get back into doing the wrestling watch-alongs and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to work some stuff out, man. I'm trying to work some stuff out, but I'm very happy to be here because I love doing this. We have a really interesting conversation for you. We got a watch list for you. We got a whole bunch of stuff we're talking about, including the top 5 things that you used to do before the internet and shit. Before you was scrolling all day, numbing all your brain cells and all that shit. People used to just smoke weed. Now you got a whole bunch of vices, including your phone in your pocket. But this is the Beeline ENT. Yo, let's get with it. Let's go. That's right. Check it out, guys. We back at it. And, of course, I'm not alone. You know I got my boy with me. It comes in and has all the awesome conversations about entertainment, the entertainment portion of the Beeline Entertainment. That is my man from the ep.57 podcast, not letting nothing hold him down, doing an amazing job. He's got dropping shows, doing editing work, doing it all. My man, Kyle. Hey! What up, Kyle?
What's up, B?
Kyle, you sound like your microphone is on super duper loud.
Hold on.
All the background.
Ah, dang. Sorry.
Now you good. I was just I was just talking about everything you do, man. You definitely, I was watching your latest episode that you dropped and stuff like that. You got a lot going on, bro. I'm proud of you, man. You keep killing it, staying on it.
Man, I gotta give it up. I gotta give it up to I gotta give it up to the people. You
Yep.
know, like the people that have been asking me to to help asking me to help them with editing or be on the show, and it's given me a like a really broad perspective. And then recently I had to upgrade some equipment,
There you
and
go.
I'm the type of person that I get anxiety when it comes to spending certain amounts of money
Oh yeah,
because I
yeah.
ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I'm
feel
so
you.
so for real, I was like, can I recover from this? Right.
Yeah.
And then
No, I feel
something,
you there.
and something kept telling me like, you know, it's time to upgrade your equipment because one of my clients, like, we travel to different places to record, right?
Okay.
And instead of like renting equipment from from the local studio, or or getting my little lapel mics or whatever, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to get an upgrade. Next thing you
Yeah.
know, we about to talk about the algorithms, right? They helped me out. They were like, hey, look, here's this device that that can help you out. Boom, boom, boom. What do you have? And
Mm.
I looked at my account. I was like, dang it, can I do it? Can't do it right now, but I can do it next week. So I waited about a week.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it
man.
just it just did it. Ask questions first because it was nerve wracking, believe it or not.
Oh no, 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 it definitely is, man. It's like, with this right here, we've had plenty of conversations about, whether it be, podcasting, radio, whatever you want to call this, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different terms for it. It's not Podcasting is like the easiest go-to because it's what we're doing now. But to be honest, I'm not on Spotify or any of that shit. I'm this is just it. I'm online. I'm on YouTube. Not saying that I can't be. It was
Mhm.
kind of like I've done the things to set up Podbean and all that shit or whatever, but I really enjoy this being a show, bro. I enjoy
Mhm.
it being visual, and I want more people to be attracted to this form of it
Mhm.
than to just kind of put an earbud in and check me out whenever, like audio. It'd be more convenient, but I'm trying to reach the audience that's like, hey, I'm gonna put this on, even if you watch for 5 or 6 minutes. Like, I'm just glad you get to see me, you get to see my face, and kind of promote in that way. But
Mhm.
this is the job, bro. This is the job. It's something that you're doing, and you do have to self-invest, and it is scary. Like, if you ain't rich, you know what I'm saying. You
and
over
that
there.
and that's the and that's the thing. One of my friends last year asked me like, do you make money from this? And I
What up,
kind of
Warren?
like, and I kind of laughed. I was like, not really. You know,
Yeah.
it's not really. It's not really about that for me. For me, this is a creative outlet,
Oh yeah.
and it's also a good way to learn because I'm learning from a lot of great people about some crazy things, nerdy
Oh yeah.
stuff, yeah, but then you got the serious stuff like with A for Able. We talk mental health, we talk living with disabilities, we talk about the economy, we talk about like every things that I don't normally like to really talk about on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, for sure. It's
You
more of a
know,
comfort platform, right? Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So
I was
it
thinking
gets me
that
out my
same
comfort
thing
zone.
recently. Yeah, no,
Mm,
no. I was thinking just like you're saying, like I was thinking that same thing recently with like there's been plenty of shows that I've done, man, where it's like it's kind of a form of therapy, man. It's like you literally have the ability, even when I do certain shows by myself, and I'm just talking to the camera. It's just that relief where it's like you're just expressing how you feel about shit. Maybe that don't got nothing to do with anybody you're talking to or talking to anybody at all.
yep.
Sometimes it just feels good to be able to release your thoughts instead of
Hmm.
just like kind of holding them in and everything like that. But
Agreed.
yeah, you
Agreed.
sound good, bro. So whatever you got is working good for you.
Right now, I'm using a nice standard USB mic. Usually, I use XLR.
Okay,
Um, but what I'm trying to do is I'm testing. What you're hearing me is testing out some new gear that I just bought to travel.
gotcha.
You know,
Well, you're gonna
so it
need it,
sounds
bro, because
good.
we got a lot of these entertainment shows we doing. I'm telling you right now, we beefing up. I'm really enjoying these. We talk every Thursday. We talk, we send each other stuff here and there throughout the week, but it's
Yep.
just like this entertainment show, man. I love the entertainment show. We always talk about it, and I love the topics. And like we said, man, tonight we're gonna be, talking about social media and doom scrolling, and just to give you guys like a little heads up before we jump into the watch list. Like let's see, Warren's in the chat with us tonight. What up, Warren? Warren said, like the fresh fade. Oh, like the fresh fade, bro. Kyle, always remember, make sure this is fun or a good release. It's like a type of diary. Yeah, for real.
Facts.
We're proud of
That's
you.
Facts.
Yeah, man. It's definitely like a type of diary, but depending how you use it, bro.
Yeah.
Depending how you use it. It definitely is. But yeah, before we jump into the watch list, we're gonna be talking about doom scrolling, guys. I kind of had a weird kind of outlook recently on some things that I was doing. And when it comes to doom scrolling, I am definitely grade A material, right?
Right.
Because I'll be on the fucking phone scrolling my life away when I'm supposed to be working, when I'm taking breaks. I'm over here, oh man, you see a chick with big titties or something like that. Oh man, forget about it. Now I'm wrapped up and I can't get no thoughts and I'm stuck. And then my wife was like, yeah, you know, you get that thing, and it's like you're getting those constant dopamine hits in your brain, and it's just like I don't never want to leave. I do that shit. I took a full fucking break from social media yesterday, yo. I didn't post. I think the only thing I posted was I went live. I still did my show. I got, you know, that's an obligation. But I didn't post. I wasn't just online. I didn't go on TikTok before I went to sleep. I watched a YouTube video on my TV. That was it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm getting away from it a little bit, bro. I'm trying to take a break in certain areas because I still got to do this. I still want to promote, and I still love the internet. But Kyle, I also felt like I was getting to a point where I kept watching bullshit, bro. Like people's lies, and then you see the comment when you see somebody's obviously, you know, they trolling, you know, they lying, or you know, they're just trying to get fucking attention. And then people in the comments believe in it, and you're saying to yourself, "What the fuck? This is the misinformation that's guiding us now."
Yeah,
bro. That shit was starting to affect me, yo.
That dude. That like now that we also have to worry about not only the misinformation, but now we have AI and really, really good deep fakes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like sometimes you can tell what's the deep fake and what's the real thing. But now people have examples of things that look or sound real enough.
Yeah.
And all it needs is one person to feed it. That's it.
That's
all
right.
it needs is like one comment. Next thing you know, it snowballs. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's got everybody. It's got everybody. You know, everybody wary, everybody worried. Not to mention, like we've talked about. Okay, TikTok.
We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah, this is gonna come, guys. This is gonna come. This is gonna be the second part. Right after we get done to watch this, we're gonna talk about doom scrolling. We're gonna talk about AI. We're gonna talk about all that shit. Yeah. So we're gonna jump right into it. Let's see what Warren had to say. I stepped completely out of my comfort zone when I decided to do Mr. and Mrs. Marley. Yeah, great show, bro. I was checking it out the other day. I saw I forgot her daughter Bella. I saw she was over there trying to get in with y'all too. With my wife, proud of you, bro. Got to do that with wrestling, bro. Listen, man. I'm trying. On STR last night, we were talking about with wrestling. I did a TikTok about how I feel like fucking Vince McMahon was absolutely right, bro. When he used to say all the stuff he used to say, talking about this is entertainment. This isn't just wrestling. I mean, he was extreme with it, no doubt about it. But he's right, man. I think that they're forgetting that shit at this point. Like, everybody's so worried about who wrestles better than who. I don't give a fuck. Like, give me an interesting story. Give me good background. Give me a good build to a pay-per-view. And then have a great payoff. That's what I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? Just like a movie. You watching the movie to see, oh, he's a better actor than him. I don't give a fuck who that. I want to see what happens in the movie. I want to see the good guy and the bad guy go at it and shit. And bro, come on, man.
Wrestling is theatrical, right?
Yeah,
it's theatrical. It's a soap opera. It's a action movie. It's a play.
They trying to make that shit too. They trying to make it too like it's a sport, bro. And that's the thing that's starting to get annoying. There is wrestling that is the sport. You do have the Olympic wrestlers, like, and there's wrestlers in WWE and shit
and
that are like Olympic wrestlers, sumo wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, there's legit sports, but when it comes to WWE, that's fucking. We all know, and it's not fake. It's definitely real. Them guys in there destroying each other, but it's just like we know it's scripted. It's a plan. It's stories that are written out, and they're usually amazing. But That's another show. That's STR. Check us out on Wednesdays, guys. Yo, but if you're on with us tonight, you know we about to do the. Wait, where's the new one? Where's the new one? This one. The watch list. That's right. We got the watch list for you tonight. And I got a pretty decent watch list, yo. So this is how we're going to start the watch list off. I watched 2 movies. I watched more than that, but we're going to talk about 2. And then we're going to get into a different section of the watch list. There's going to be some stuff that we're going to be wanting to watch. But first up on the watch list, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who watched these shows. So Kyle, just jump in if you've heard about them or if you want to speak on them as well. First movie of the night. Time Cut. Okay, now I know that sounds interesting, right?
Okay. Oh, that's a knife.
Have you heard of this movie, Kyle?
First time.
All right. So this is gonna be a banger for you. I'm about to try to do it justice. This movie, you can catch this movie on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, I believe.
Okay.
And when I tell you, you are not going to be prepared for this fucking movie, yo, because the one thing about Time Cut, if you guys are fans of the if you remember a few years back, they're coming out with a new one, the Fear Street series on Netflix. That I think if I'm not mistaken, R.L. Stein.
R.L. Stein did that one, right?
Yeah, that one. This is similar. This is kind of similar. The story is very out there. It's about not to give too much, I'm not going to drop any spoilers, but it's about a killer. He is back in time. A lot of nostalgia in this movie. A lot. It's back in the 2000s era, right at the beginning 2000 stages, and they definitely play to it a lot. But it's basically about a girl. She's at a party. She gets killed, and then her sister grows up, and in the same place they go to the memorial and they try to pay respects, and there's all of a sudden there's a fucking time machine there, and she gets to go back and meet her sister before she dies. That's pretty much the premise of the movie. And then it goes into some weird stuff where the girl's trying to stop stuff, or she's trying to figure out, should I do this? And time travel, all that agenda. Now, when I tell you, Kyle, I'm a huge horror fan, bro. I love horror. I love kind of movies in this realm.
Yeah.
But I gotta give this one credit for being super creative with adding the whole time travel thing. I've never heard of that. Have you ever heard anything
along the same lines? A time traveling horror film?
Yeah.
No. I don't think I've ever heard of those things together, unless they do like the Groundhog Day thing where you're repeating the same day over and over again. I think that's the closest I could think about it. But having an actual time machine and do the whole time travel shtick, no, I can't say I have.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that I it was just intrigued me more than anything. It kind of like, it wasn't good. It was okay. It wasn't like it was terrible, but it was just like, it was an interesting premise, and it definitely is, along the lines of like the teen kind of teen horror comedy genre, a little bit, a little less comedy, but definitely like teen horror. A little bit like that. And one of the scenes is a big old poster of Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the kid's door. They got radios with CD players in them and shit, and Macintosh computers. So
okay.
It dives deep into your nostalgia, bro. Like, you're watching it and you're seeing kids walk around with CD players and shit, and you're like, whoa. So that part of it was cool. So the movie checked a bunch of boxes. The killer, kind of fucking
the killer's meh.
Yeah, like literally, like, okay, a guy with a knife and a little jumpsuit or whatever,
guy with a knife, a mask, typical.
Yeah. To me, the story is kind of predictable. I was able to kind of guess who it was and stuff like that. But like I said, it's an easy watch. It was a good time. I wasn't like mad that I watched it at the end of it. But Time Cut on Netflix. If you guys want to check it out. I recommend, if you ain't got nothing to do, ain't nothing else on, you want to just have like a little bit of a good time, especially if you're watching with somebody, you want to give a couple laughs, I would definitely check it out. But I am officially going to give Time Cut a...
Yay!
Time Cut is a
low.
4 out of 5. 4.5 out of for me. 4.5 times. Remember, like I always say, if Brian B gives a 10, y'all
it's gotta be epic.
Quit your job, sell your kids. give your last check to charity. Anything you got to do to go watch it, you better do it, because if Brian B gives something to 10, then you know that movie is insane. All right, time cut. All right, got one more for you on the watch list. This is something I checked out. And I was very hesitant to check it out. But let's talk about it. Now, this movie is called The Watchers. The Watchers. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about this. This actually wasn't that far away. I think this actually came out last year. And this one was actually in the movie theaters.
Huh?
M. Night Shyamalan. This was in the movie theaters. This was I don't know how well it did or anything like that, but it wasn't like a huge production or anything. But did you hear about it, Kyle?
I can't. No, I can't say. I can't say I did.
Yeah, the star of the movie is Dakota Fanning, man. Little Dakota Fanning. Remember, Dakota Fanning was the little girl in all the old school movies and stuff like that. War of the Worlds. She did a whole bunch of movies. That movie with Brittany Murphy. She was always
she's been working for a minute now, man.
For a long time. Yeah, she's like 30-something years old, bro. How old was I when I was watching this chick?
Gosh, that's a good question. That's a better question.
Like 30 years old. It's fucking crazy. But Watchers. So I'm sitting there watching Watchers, and kind of starts off kind of interesting. Like, girl with she got a tragic situation happen to her, so she's in that kind of realm of like, oh, fuck life, I don't really care. But then she gets sent on a delivery into a place where this is the problem I have, Kyle, sometimes with movies. All right, this girl goes and she's driving, right, and she's supposed to be doing a delivery, but out of nowhere she just starts driving and it turns into just woods. It's not even, at one point, bro, there's not even a fucking road.
And she just in the woods.
And she's just driving a fucking little ass station wagon into trees and woods and forests and shit. And I'm saying to myself in my head, bro, like, immediately, as soon as I saw like forest in front of me and there's no more road left, I'm out. I'm not doing this shit. A single girl by herself, no weapon, no gun, no nothing, just driving into the woods with a bird in a cage. Okay. I'll rock with it.
Oh, okay. I think I remember seeing the trailer for. Yeah. Okay.
I
saw the trailer for this.
Okay.
I saw the trailer for this. I was just glad they didn't tell you the whole movie in the trailer.
Yeah. So basically, if you guys remember, basically she gets to this point where she's in the woods and weird stuff starts happening, and then they get locked in this room, and it's like, you can see me, but they can't see you, or whatever the shit is. And the whole movie is basically like, trying to figure out like what the hell is going on. That's really what the whole movie is about. And I'm not gonna lie to you, just like most M. Night Shyamalan movies, what's going on. It's gonna build up at the end. I gotta give this one credit though, because it does pique your interest. It does have a lot of parts where it's just like, you're trying to figure out, first of all, whenever you're in a situation where it's like, damn, how long are they gonna be stuck there? How long is this gonna happen? How long is that gonna happen? And then of course it does build up, like you really want to see what the monster is or the creatures are that they're kind of hiding from and stuff like that. So the story's pretty good. I was actually pretty interested in it. It didn't bore me. I was interested all the way to the end, and it got to this has a good part in the end where it's like, without spoilers, you get to a part where you think it's over, but it's still not over, and it still gets pretty good. So yeah, Watchers was pretty good. This one surprised me, bro. I actually stopped watching another movie that wasn't good. I don't even remember what the shit was called, and then turned this on. So with Watchers, I would definitely say go check it out. I watched it on Xfinity or HBO Max. I believe you can go check it out if you bored. You like horror movies. It's not really scary at all. It's more like a kind of a creature flick than a real horror. But I'd give Watchers 5. 5 it is. 5 it is. It's not amazing. It's a good watch. You got nothing to do. You chilling, you home. I'll give it a 5. Watchers. That's the watch list for you guys. Now, even though that's the watch list, those are the movies that I watched. Those are the ones I chose to talk about. I usually talk about maybe 2 or 3 if you guys are new to watching. And maybe if Kyle has one, we add that into the mix as well. Did you have anything new that you watched, Kyle?
I got 2. Yeah, I got 2 things I watched recently. Okay. One that I've been meaning to watch for years. and the movie is Bad Teacher.
With Cameron Diaz.
With Cameron Diaz.
Damn, I
I've
haven't
been
saw
meaning to
that.
watch that. I've been meaning to watch that for years, and it just like I saw it and then I just got caught up doing something else. So one day I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me see. Let me see where this is. Last time I checked, it was on Hulu. So I go to Hulu, it's not there. So I'm like, okay, so where is it? Is it on Tubi? Because everything's on freaking Tubi. It's not on Tubi, but there is a 2-season TV show that they did based on it, and I'm like, okay, that's not it. And then I Google it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you find weird stuff just searching, right? So
for sure.
Yeah, so then I search to see where it is, and it's on freaking Disney Plus.
Oh, are you serious?
It's on Disney Plus, right? So I'm watching the movie. I'm like, okay, so why is it that she's so bad? Did she, was she teaching and then just decided to give up, or did she just snap? What happened? No, she's a gold digger that just wants a boob job.
Oh, really? That's the premise?
She is a teacher. She is qualified to teach.
Yeah.
But her whole thing is she wants to find a guy. I mean, yeah, spoilers, but it's a movie from 2011. So
yeah, it's been out for a while.
But she is a teacher. She was working at this school for a minute. She broke her fiance dumped her when they realized she didn't really care about him. It was more about the money. It was more about security, whatever, right? So now she's trying to land a husband, right? So but her whole thing is, oh, I'm looking at these models with these bodies and these big boobs. I'm like, I'm sitting here like, you have issues with your, okay, fine. Whole thing, she's trying to get money to get a boob job to land a husband, and falls in love with teaching as she goes along. I'm like, wait, that's it? I'm having fun watching this, but I'm like, that's it? Plus, it's awkward.
Cameron's a little hottie
because it's on Disney Plus.
That's really, Disney Plus. I mean, it's not like it's not super kiddie or anything anymore. But
well, yeah, it's just like it's the stuff you got to put in a code for. It's like the stuff you got to put in a code for the rest of the films, because they own Hulu and everything else now too, and Fox. So so it kind of makes sense. But what
would you rate it out of our rating system?
I gotta give it. Okay, honestly, I enjoyed it, but I gotta give it like a 6.
6. Okay.
I gotta give it good. It's good acting, but the premise made me go, wait, it's just that simple.
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake plays a dude who Bad Teacher was decent. A basic
white chick flick. Yeah.
I mean,
I never saw it. I've actually never seen it.
Honestly, I'd recommend it but I will say this. This is a rated R film.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't realize it. I thought it was PG-13.
Nah, it's rated R. Yeah, I remember because one scene with Justin Timberlake is like smashing Cameron, isn't it?
There's
somebody.
There's a scene where they dry hump, and that's pretty much pretty much it. But what makes it R is they're dropping F-bombs not every not every second. Like she's the one in the movie with the dirtiest mouth, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And they do show boobs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, they do show boobs. Not full frontal nudity, but when she goes to the doctor, there's a point where someone comes in who is a patient of the doctor, and they just let it all out. And I'm like, wait, it's zoomed in. I'm like, I wasn't prepared for that. I mean,
I am
great, but I wasn't prepared.
All right, Kyle gave Bad Teacher a 6. All right, so go check out Bad Teacher. That's Kyle's watch list right there. We got some stuff to add real quick to the watch list for you guys, because I want to talk about it. And I did watch Daredevil. I have watched a couple of things. We're gonna do a watch list episode here pretty soon, so we'll have more time to talk about it. Yeah. But I have something else I wanted to talk about real quick before we get into the doom scrolling, and that's this, yo. I'm gonna call it trailers and complaints because that's literally what the fuck we getting lately.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I know that it's hard. I know it's hard to keep seeing different movies get remade and redone and this and that. I get it, yo. But at the end of the day, bro, can I ask one question? One question, honestly, guys.
Yep.
What the hell did this guy do to y'all?
Why
is everybody
ragging on the Superman trailer? I don't know,
bro. Why is everybody going so hard on the Superman trailer?
I don't freaking know.
I think it looks fucking phenomenal, bro.
It looks good. Give it a shot. I don't know.
It hasn't even come out yet, bro.
It hasn't even come out yet. It is but I think what it is. I think a lot of people miss Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
right?
he was good.
He was good. But my thing is like this is I think people are salty that the Snyderverse didn't work out.
Well,
and
it definitely didn't work out. So
it really certain parts of it did, and other parts not so much. And DC's got to get their act together. Blah blah blah. My thing is, guys, it hasn't even come out yet. And honestly, I miss Boy Scout Superman. Okay, I miss. I know, not everything has to be dark and brooding and blah 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 blah. This guy's just trying to fit in. That was his whole thing. He was just trying to fit in, and he realizes he can't. You know what I'm saying? He is an alien in a world that he calls home, and it's a whole thing. But one thing I'm really glad about. There is no origin story. We already know he's been super Superman happy about already that. In this world. Everybody already knows who he is. Okay, let's move on from that.
Yeah, I really want to see this too because it is introducing a lot. Number one, and it's also James Gunn, and we all know that James Gunn, he does do his research when he does superhero movies, man. So
he's
at some point, he's good, man. There is going to be. I did hear somebody was complaining about how they feel like he's always going to have some kind of comedy invested in it, but you got to understand, bro, if you are doing it for more of a family or oriented kind of audience, that's who you want to come watch a fucking movie, man. You want the people that's going to come watch a movie, bring their kids and try to enjoy it. And I like the fact that they are trying to bring that back to superhero movies, because even though I am a fan when things get a little darker, the fact is, if you ain't doing it right, it's not worth it. Because
the
Snyderverse shit was all over the place, man. I'm sorry. Even now, I'm sorry, but even with, you got the Robert Pattinson Batman, but that's not going to be the real Batman. There's supposed to be another How many fucking Batmans do we need, bro?
Batman has had the most. Batman out of the whole catalog of DC characters has had the most movies. I think out of the whole the whole superhero genre, Batman is the one that's been the most consistent. Everybody gets a Batman.
My Batman is Batman. You see him up there. Hulk and Batman are my two favorite superheroes of all time. Yep. But when I tell you, they have too much going on to where you can't get invested in one story because you're trying to make fucking 5 of them at the same time. And I understand people's gripes a little bit, but like you said, Kyle, this movie hasn't even come out. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like everybody is just kind of bitching about it because they're used to Henry Cavill, and Henry Cavill played a great Superman. He played a great Superman. I'm not going to lie, but this Superman does look like he has a little bit more personality. It looks like there's going to be a little bit brighter. It's going to be a little bit more interaction as far as with him talking to different people and stuff like that. You see it in the trailer. He's got a little bit more comedy to him, and I think that's going to work, bro. I think it's going to work. It doesn't have to be all brooding, like you said. It's going to be a different type of film. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fucking amazing.
I'm honestly looking forward to it too. And like we said, with the James Gunn of it all, I did like some parts of the Snyderverse, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, not everything needs to be dark. Batman, Batman, you kind of expect that, you know what I'm saying? But not everybody needs to be dark and brooding and blah blah blah. Most of them already have tragic backstories. We need to laugh every so often.
Yeah, they're gonna play it. I think they're gonna play it well, man. We got to see James Gunn do the Guardians of the Galaxy, and all those, and Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, let me tell you right now, Guardians of the Galaxy. I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie theaters. Yep. After I got done watching, that was when Ninja Turtles came out, the new Ninja Turtle movie.
The
Nickelodeon did.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I enjoyed it while I was there because it's Ninja Turtles and I fucking love Ninja Turtles. But looking back on it now, I really wish that we can get another one that's really done well. I like Seth Rogen's Ninja Turtles too, but that's cartoon. I really would like to have a live action Turtles that matches like the 90s Turtles. Hopefully, if we can, a better one, with real fucking martial arts, bro.
We still got Last Ronin coming, so
I hope so. If they fuck it up, listen, bro. I don't believe nothing until I see it because these guys pick up a project and drop it immediately.
I'm the same exact way. Especially when you give us a big announcement. Some of them get trailers. Some of them, like all this, and it's like, oh no, we're dropping it. We're cutting it for taxes. All this stuff. So what was the point of promoting it? You spent money promoting it, hyping it up.
Blade is the latest one. Don't even tell me about Blade anymore.
That's a great example because they announced that years ago with this point.
Yeah, before Eternals.
And there's been no forward movement Blade got
canceled. They shelved that shit.
It is very I'm very iffy with the stuff, with this stuff they announced. Now, unless I know, because I don't really believe in guarantees anymore in life, to be honest.
Yeah.
But when you tell me and you already have a trailer and all this, and all this stuff, and I know for sure that it's coming out, like something I didn't think that's coming out, that is coming out, believe it or not, a Voltron movie.
I was never really a fan. I was never even a fan of Transformers, really, but I love the Transformers movies. Well, the first couple ones.
But guess who's starring in it? Henry Cavill.
Oh, for real?
Henry Cavill.
I like Henry Cavill. He's good.
Henry Cavill starring in it, and it is coming unless they change by the time this stream ends. But they're about to. Amazon is flipping the bill for it, right? But they're gonna they're putting it on their platform. Where Amazon had said that they're gonna focus more on theatrical films, they're dumping this on Amazon Prime. So,
well, I don't know. I mean, shit like that doesn't really catch my eye, but hey, I hope it's good. I mean, I root for more big list movies and stuff like that because I like watching movies, man. I like being entertained, and that's one of the things, kind of segueing into what we're about to get into this conversation right now.
Yep.
This is the world we live in. We have a lot of different resources when it comes to being entertained, yo.
Yep.
And you can look at it as either a blessing or kind of a curse at times, and that's what our beginning conversation was when we first started today. And if I could find this damn thing, where is it? Oh, there it is. Doom scrolling.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Doom scrolling. Did you even know this terminology? I didn't even know that this is what it was called.
I've known about it for a while.
Yeah.
I use the term all the time.
Oh, you use it too. My wife said it, so I didn't know. That's why I was like, okay, that's a good name for an episode.
It is.
So, guys, let me tell you. I think if you didn't catch the beginning of the episode, one thing that brought me to this episode is I'm a continuous TikTok, Facebook, Instagram checker, user, watcher, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. That is me. I live, I'm talking from when I wake up in the middle of the night, before I go to sleep. When I wake up, I'm checking Instagram, checking Facebook, I'm checking TikTok. I constantly do it, bro. It's just what I do. I enjoy it. I'm looking for things that I can learn from. I'm looking for things that I can talk about. I'm looking for things that I can watch. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I don't even think about it. I don't even think about the fact that I'm just on my phone. I'm just on my phone. I'll be doing something. I'll be cooking in the kitchen or something like that. I'll put my phone to the corner. And when I'm cooking or whatever, I'll put something down while I'm waiting for something. I'll scroll on my phone. I'll go on TikTok. Before I used to maybe put a show on or a movie. Mm-hmm. But I'll scroll now. And it'll be a video that's 15 seconds long, Kyle.
Yep.
And that shit will be playing in the background. I'll be cooking something. And that's just repeating.
Yep.
45 minutes later, it's just on the same shit. And I run to the phone like, shut up already. Mm-hmm. That's because I'm consistently scrolling, bro. Yep. And what are some examples of your doom scrolling habits?
Dude, look, I'm constant, like same thing with you. I'm constantly on. I'm not on TikTok as much, but as far as like between Facebook, Instagram Reels, and freaking YouTube and YouTube Shorts, ever since
YouTube Shorts.
since they started the YouTube Shorts program,
Yeah,
I'm like every time I open my tab, because it's a 50-50 shot that reels are gonna shorts are gonna pop up immediately, right?
yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm seeing recipes for stuff. I'm seeing historical facts. I'm seeing cartoon clips. I'm seeing
Right.
politics. I'm seeing people street interviews. I'm seeing music. All of that within the span of a few seconds.
Yeah.
Not even a few minutes, a few seconds.
That's right. It's just like you said, every single aspect of the things that we're looking for to be entertained, to be informed, to be, to be, to acknowledge, you know what I'm saying? Some things that we never even fucking knew.
Yep.
And we have one thing now to where you swipe your finger up and down, left, right, whatever, and you are just able to pick and choose exactly what you want, or even can find that you're interested in. And it's really crazy, bro. And like I said, to the degree of how much I do it, I haven't stopped to realize the negatives of the shit. And I mean, going back to the days where I was driving a truck, I was used to do deliveries. I had a couple jobs where it's like, you get in there in the morning, you get your route, and you figure out, okay, I'm going here. I got these 15 stops or whatever. I have to go to these 15 stops, and then I'm done for the day. There's times where I probably could have been done maybe an hour or two earlier, but the fact that I would go into a stop, then get into the truck, turn the air on, and then be on my phone for like fucking 20 minutes, yo. whether it be I was making beeline shit, or I was just on my phone. I just saw something. I saw one thing on a Facebook ad. I popped Facebook open for a minute. I saw one thing. And I said, oh, wow, that's happening. And then I scrolled up a little bit and said, oh, wow, that too. And now I'm looking for new shit. That fast. It's like a hypnotic kind of thing or whatever. Like that fast. Oh, shit, that happened. Or you'll get a notification. You get a note. You pick your phone up, and as soon as you pick your phone up, you get 50 notifications on. Look at me. Like the biggest attention whore on the fucking planet.
That's facts. That's facts.
For real.
Like it, because it's too easy. It is way too easy. It's text messages from friends. It's because a lot of us don't like to use the phone as a phone anymore. We just
That's right. That's right.
You just text. Like if you want to talk to me, just text. Right.
Yeah.
So we'll do texting. We'll get notification on top of notification for YouTube or whatever our social media app of choice is. Everything. Yeah, Amazon. Everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right, man. And it's just like, the fact of the matter is, I started to notice, man, that I'm doing this shit, and I'm starting to notice somebody who's walking around this house with kids, and I'm teaching them, and I'm trying to teach them about the importance of time management and making sure that you're handling things in a proper manner, because time doesn't wait. You waste time, you lose time, you can't get the shit back, bro. You have to be able to get shit done. And I'm talking about that, but I'm realizing I'm sitting at my desk just like I'm doing now, and I should be putting a show together. Right now I'm looking for a job. I'm trying to get back into the workforce, and I've been doing applications and going through interviews, and oh man, that's a stupid process. But
I got a site that might help you.
Yeah,
I got a site that might help you.
Oh,
I found out while doom scrolling.
Look at Carl, set it up. Set him up and knock him down.
Yeah, but seriously, I'll send it to you.
Please do. Yeah. I do need a little help. But yeah, man, I'll be in the middle of doing stuff like that or whatever, and then I'm just like, I catch myself. Listen, I'll be on my computer. As soon as I sit down, I open up all social media, and that's because of what I do. Like I'm over here, I send like 10, 15 emails a day, just letting people know, hey, I'm the Beeline Entertainment, blah blah blah. We do video editing, we do this, we do that, and and just that's part of the job. But it's like, from there it'll go. I'll see something, and same process as before. Like I see something, then I see something else, and I see something else. I just turn my phone on right now. The first thing I see is big titties, just out, big titties, not nude, but just like you get anywhere. You go on TikTok, you go on Twitch, girls out playing with the bras on and
everywhere.
Shit. Everywhere. It's hard not to. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man, bro. Like I like titties. Like I like booty. Like it's if I see it, I'm watching a little bit, but. I have started to get the thing, Kyle, we were touching on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
The negative aspects of this shit is, you get your attention is grabbed and time is being wasted. But more than that, now than anything, we're really getting persuaded by shit that just really isn't real at all. We're getting to a point where whether it be AI or whether it be just manipulation, whether it just be people making fake videos to try to gain attention, people fighting with each other just to try to get attention, people making videos about bad dads. Oh, my baby father came here and tried to give my son McDonald's, and other two kids didn't. He had no McDonald's, so I threw the McDonald's on the floor. And then 2 years later, you find out, oh, those two people were faking. It wasn't even a real video. And now you just got mad at a whole. I'm not saying that stuff like that isn't relatable. No. But I'm just saying, like, you just got mad because of some phony bullshit that people are putting out for views, for attention.
The sad part is, especially living here, okay, and it was pointed out during the TikTok controversy, right, which is ongoing. Let's not forget. But,
yeah, it is.
But they're like over in China and different places. They when you open these apps, they're not bombarded with dumb stuff right away. A lot of them get like educational stuff right away. We get the dumb stuff. And I'm like, is that for real? And then I had to think about it. What am I getting? Like, I had to search for historical facts because they're constantly swiping certain things away from the history books. So I had to search for actual historical facts. And then, healthy recipes, and then, the anime and the big in the girl stuff and all that other, other stuff. Right now, I got an interesting mixture, but I had to force the algorithm to show me the positive stuff first, because it will show you negative immediately.
Oh, yeah, bro. Because, and if you think about it, what's the reason for that? Because at the end of the day, it's a computer, it's a system.
Yep.
It's being fed information from just our usage. Mm-hmm. So that information is circulating and it's saying, oh, well, a lot of people see them, and it's fucking categorizing and it's generalizing and it's saying a lot of people like seeing big titties. So what are we going to do? Throw big titties across the board. Yep. And then you get the parts where it's just like that's all you see, or like you said, Kyle, even just not something not as negative, but food. Everybody likes to eat.
Everybody likes to eat. So you get all these recipes. Some not so healthy. Some like I'm in the like what they call for big backs. I get the big back content all the time, like all the time. These crazy recipes for sandwiches and these crazy burgers and fried chicken and all this stuff. And then I get the healthy stuff on top of that, like vegan recipes and how to make jelly at home and all that, and all this other stuff. So I'm sending it to my friends. I'm sending it to my girlfriend. I'm like, okay, let's send these memes over here, this information over here, because I might use it later on down the line.
Yeah, I save videos all the time. Videos all the time because, like you said, Kyle, this shit might be going away, and I mean potentially, you never know. But some of the stuff that you find, even though we're talking about like doom scrolling, some of the stuff you find is really good. I actually had a plan. I was just talking about it last night, but I switch up so fucking much every 5 minutes. I was not going to go on social media like that for a while. Like when I say that, I host shows, so I know I have to do the shows. Yeah. But I was gonna just put out what I need for the show and then kind of just stay off it. And today I kind of was a little bit more reasonable. Like I'm still gonna go on a little bit, but I'm really gonna monetize myself. Like I'm gonna when I'm doing work, I'm not on my phone. When I'm doing something, I'm making strict times where I'm not touching the phone. You know what I'm saying? If I'm up at night and that's my free time and that's what I choose to do, I'll do it then. But while I'm trying to get my jobs done, while I'm cooking, while I'm doing things, I'm not touching my phone. Like I'll put on my comedy on Spotify or some shit like that or whatever, and then I'll rock. But last night when I was just on and I didn't go on TikTok all night until 1 o'clock in the morning. That's my usual shit. First is Instagram, then I go to search Instagram videos. You forget about Instagram, they showing you everything. But they show you fights and people dying and getting hit by cars and buses and shit. Instagram shows you everything. Yep. And then TikTok just shows you more of, just like you said, like, you know, whether it be food or everybody's eating in their damn cars and with white t-shirts. So I don't know what that shit's about. It's like a challenge. I didn't spill anything. Look. All right, but I mean, it's just like it's getting to a point where I saw one story yesterday and I just kind of kicked the bucket a little bit. I've been seeing the AI shit. Yep. Remember when AI was first coming out, whether it was last year or the year before, and you saw these crazy, weird ass, cartoony looking freaking pictures and this and that?
Yep.
Yo, 2 years later, bro, we're literally, I mean, you can't tell the difference from some of these fucking things that are coming out.
It has gotten better, so much so that it's scary. It's not 100% perfect, but there are, like, my freaking editing program that I use has a voice cloning feature.
So does mine.
Yeah. Why? I don't know. No. And there's and right now, as we speak, there is a lawsuit between two content creators and an AI company because they use their voice for like promoting without their consent. They clone their voice, right? Like they said, hey, help us out, blah, 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 right? And they cloned their voice and they started using it for like promos and to get deals and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is what's happening. Not to mention, all of our data is, all of our data is being sold off. So you don't know. You don't know what else you're gonna get. Like right now the scam callers have given me a break.
Man.
They used to call me on the daily, bro. I used to get at least 2 a day. To the point where I got all paranoid and I'm like, screen call.
You know what's even scarier? Yo, listen, my dad, he was staying with us for a little while, before everything.
Yeah.
And the one thing that was fucking, I mean, unbelievable, bro, was the scam calls. When I tell you, and I know there was times I had to save him from a couple of situations that happened, but he would talk to him. And until I started telling him, like, yo, don't ignore those people, ignore that. But yo, when he was here, that fucking phone would ring almost, I'm not even I'm exaggerating when I say maybe 20 times a day. 20 fucking times a day. I had to change the ringer on it a couple of times just because it was ringing so bad. And I was asking, Dad, who calling you? He's like, oh no, it's the whatever, the bill collector, whatever he called him. And bro, that shit is insane. But the reason why that's crazy is because he was a senior, bro. He's older. He don't really know, and to know that they're targeting or they have the information to reach those people, they're like, no, this person's a senior. You're more likely to get information. You're more likely to be able to get through the process with them. That shit, and not for that. Plus, there was this other thing I saw recently, where it was like a video showing you like how fast you can kind of get your identity taken. And this thing played like a quick little happy birthday, and then they paused happy birthday, and then they cut this person's face out, and then they put it into this other thing. They went through all the records that they had online. One was at like a restaurant, one was at like a birthday graduation, one was at this, and they took the timestamps and this and that and this and that. They zoomed in to see the credit card check or whatever to the bill they had on the table, and they put everything together, and they made a whole new account for a whole fucking person with AI and stuff like that implanted in it. And it was it was, I don't even know if it was an identity theft. It was just they stole everything and made an account after this person, and it was legit.
That was it's that it's that easy. Like I have so I use a VPN, not all the time, but I'm glad I have it, right? And they recently told me about the like the like searching for the information searching if your stuff is somewhere on the web, right? So I'm like, okay, got that. And then I searched immediately. I found something of mine out there, because data brokers, all that stuff is legal, right?
Man,
so they were like, okay, do you want us to? And it was within minutes of changing my password and everything else I needed to do for this thing, because I knew they're legit, right? But when they searched for my information, they found it right away. And immediately I was like, okay, forget this. And that's when I knew I stopped getting the scam calls. But I know they're still out there.
Yo, Kyle, this shit is crazy. This is going to be a crazy question, bro. Especially for both of us. Like I said, I just recently tried to stop, and I stopped for like a day before I was like, all right, well, I can't do it because I rely on this. I'm trying to make this, my business. This is my business, but But don't you like hearing these things, girl? Don't you just kind of want to give it up, man? Like I was talking to my wife about that shit earlier, and I was just saying, like, from watching, like, if you watch real quick, just a quick mention. I don't know any fans out there. This guy is one of the most popular YouTubers of all time. His name is Luke Nichols. He's an outdoor boys. He goes and camps with his sons and his kids and his family. One of the greatest fucking YouTube channels I've ever watched. These guys just camps. He survivalist camping. He does a whole bunch of travels with his family. Amazing stuff. Amazing content. He just did his last video. He said for a while he's trying to get away because of what we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
he started to get too popular.
Every so often you gotta detox.
Shout out to him. That's all I was saying.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him definitely, because you never know. Like, especially with what's gonna catch on the internet. The internet moves so quickly. You never know what's gonna catch on, right? Yeah, so when you start getting that little bit of attention or that little bit of fame, and you're not used to it, then it is going to be either way. It's overwhelming.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Like, I had a video when I was doing YouTube regularly for a little bit. I had a video. This was in the mid 2000s. This was like, I think like 2010 or something like that. I had a video that blew up, right? I had a video that blew up talking about music, and I was talking about like certain artists I didn't know, right? And then I put it out there. It was just me giving my opinion. And I just, next thing you know, I got nothing but comments and notifications and emails for like 2-3 days straight. And and a lot of them were trying to, they were trying to start something. They were like, oh, don't listen to him. He doesn't know music. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He looks like a retard, yada, yada, yada. Why does he sound like a white nerd? Blah, 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 blah. It was all that stuff. And then I got a few people that would defend me. Right. Yeah. But at the time I was, under the YouTube AdSense program. So that video was monetized. I was making money off the video, but because of the scrutiny, I gave up. Right.
Damn.
All it took was a few people to try to call me out over some opinions about artists I didn't know. So automatically I don't know music, right? Because I don't know these artists.
And then you kind of had to second guess yourself a little bit.
Yeah, it was like comment after comment after comment after comment after comment.
Yeah, it could be overwhelming, bro. Yeah. Listen, Kyle, that's a really good ass point you just brought up, man. And you guys, if you just clicked in and you were like, oh man, what are they talking about? We are talking about doom scrolling. We're talking about being on social media and being online so much, and the hazards of it, the negatives of it, the positives of it. Mm-hmm. And what we're talking about right now, this is part of it. I did an episode of the Beeline Web Show a while back, right when the Haley Welsh girl, the Haktua girl, started getting famous and stuff like that or whatever. And I think she got in trouble and all that stuff with Bitcoin or whatever.
After the Bitcoin fiasco?
Yeah. So I basically was saying in that video, like, which I'm sure I'm not the only one who says it or whatever, but a lot of people have the opportunity with these platforms to become an overnight celebrity. You just have it. That's the ability you have. But I think that, of course, people want to be seen. When we're making this right now, do you think if all of a sudden our number count just jumped up to fucking 400,000 or something like that, I'm like, oh, what the?
I'd be I'd be really excited about that if that
Yeah.
were to happen.
But at the
then I would
same
calm
time,
down eventually.
like you said, Kyle, but if that did happen and we was over here talking about it, and then all of a sudden people started hitting us up, you think that everything that goes in those comments is going to be, oh, these guys are the most awesome guys in the world?
Nah, of course not.
It's probably going to be a giant mixture of some
Yes.
people going to be cool, some people going just be selling or bots, and then some people are going to be negative as fuck, and they're going to be trying to say the worst shit that they can because they want to hurt you. And if you're not ready for that, if you're not expecting that, if you're not experienced in that, then yeah, if you think that you're ready to jump on a platform and put yourself out there and put your opinion, your point of view, without any kind of scrutiny or any kind of judgment that's going to come back to you, you were in the wrong fucking field, bro. And a lot of people that do this shit are not ready to be famous. They're not ready to be acknowledged. Because you have to have a thicker skin, bro. Just imagine. I know I'm ranting a little bit, but just because this shit is real, bro. Just imagine going into a restaurant or something like that, and you got the most beautiful fucking date, whether man, woman, whatever. It's a gorgeous trophy, and you walk in that restaurant, it's just a whole bunch of lonely men or single guys, and half of them dudes is gonna be respectful, half of them motherfuckers ain't gonna look at you, and then another portion is gonna be like, yo, where that? If you ain't ready for that, then you may want to start thinking about what you doing, like how you doing stuff. And it's just real interesting. Just need the mindset of not living off external validation. Yeah. Same shit.
Now I agree with that. And I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna sound really old, but before there was no like immediate validation. The term 15 minutes of fame existed, but it wasn't like snap like that. For example, there's been so many videos out there that were positive, talking about mental health, talking about helping people, talking about charities and stuff like that, and they barely get any kind of attention, or they get like a little bit of, they get a little bit of a following. But then you do like a dumb challenge or use the right type of music at the right time, and the next thing you know, it blows up. But then what do you do to repeat it? Right? Like
you got to do the same. Well, in some cases, you can find just saying it. You can find success. You can doing mental health. I mean, you definitely got to do a lot more. Or let's be honest, you have to get lucky. Like that. That's a big part of this shit.
I hate using that term, but yeah, you're right.
It really is, bro.
Yeah.
There's somebody who will put out 10 videos, and the right person will see that shit at the right time, and bam, all of a sudden you're an overnight hit. The girl, or you look a certain way, and you just have more of the attributes that's going to put you in a position to be noticeable. They're gonna say you're marketable, you're a cute little chick. The same thing I said on the episode. You're a cute little chick. You said some shit with a country accent that most girls who sound like you and look like you won't really speak like. Oh, I'm gonna hawk tour and spit all over that thing. Of course, motherfucker said, oh, she said that she's dirty. Ooh.
And that went everywhere. People were sampling it in songs. People were saying like had a whole and just that one bad move just went.
But do you think that's because she said that, or do you think it was because she said that? Because you could have got some big titty, wearing clothes too small woman to come up there and said the same thing exactly the same way. And bro, I'll be real with you. Maybe she'd catch on, but she wouldn't have caught on as much as that cute little blonde chick who's small and tiny, cute little southern little accent.
And it was just
that thing.
It was just a quick street interview. Bro. I was wondering to myself, like, okay, so she got big because of what she said. What about the dude that interviewed her?
Kyle, I'll do one for you. Just like you said, street interviews, right? Here's something else. Doom scrolling. There's some other shit that I'll be seeing all the time. Yep. Did you ever see like the guys who go out there and they interview the like the street hookers, the street walkers and stuff like that, like the prostitutes?
I see them just interviewing regular, just regular girls or girls that look like they're just going out to the club, you know, and they'll ask questions like, okay, so how big, you know, how big have you done, or like how deep can you know, like how deep can you go, or they'll ask them
Yeah.
out on a date right then and there,
Yeah,
and
I've seen those too.
I'm
I'm
like, you
talking
know
about
what,
the prostitute ones
the
though, like the
prostitute,
ones
like
who's the
the
drug
prostitute
dealers
ones,
and yeah,
no, the
they
most,
have.
no,
Hold on, let me tell you because this is
yep,
different.
yep,
There's a channel or a guys or group or whatever, I don't know, but they go and they intentfully they find like homeless,
mhm,
addicts and streetwalkers and prostitutes and stuff like that, and they interview them. And sometimes these girls have their faces all jacked up. You could tell they got scratches, they got marks, everything all over them. They're
mm,
strung the fuck out. And they go and interview them. Hey, how long have you been like this? Where do you come from? Why don't you go back to family? You'll see every now and then they'll have some beautiful ass girl on there, and she's gorgeous. And you're like, damn, this girl is in the street. And of course, you go to the comments, I can save her. She can come to my house and stay. And blah, blah.
oh man,
My point of bringing this up is
nah,
because, like I said, it's all about who you're talking to. Some
yep,
people just have the gift to just be attractive, bro. You
yeah,
don't have to have anything else. You don't have to have talent. You don't have to have fucking ability. All you have to do is show up. And people do, whether you call that luck or just like God-given talent, whatever, whatever you want to call it. Some
yeah,
people can just show up and be part of the scene, but other people have to work a little harder. And like you were saying, Kyle, to run
yep,
it back, the people who have to work harder, like you said, yeah, you have to go a little deeper into the trends. You got to go a little deeper into here. This is the ice bucket challenge, and I'm pouring fucking ice on my head for whatever stupid ass reason I'm
it was
doing it for
originally
today.
for charity, and then it just turned into a joke.
Of course it does. That's all the
Yeah.
other things. Everybody, because really, everybody just wants to pour water on themselves. It's not really, you don't even know why you're doing it. You just that's what you want to do. Or the dance challenge. But you have to do shit like that in order to
Mhm,
stay in the area of relevance because you're not really relevant. What you're
mhm,
doing is relevant.
right.
That's the reason why I've never been interested in, even when I'm doing TikToks and stuff, I don't want to be the clown. I want to be me.
You just want to
So
be you.
if I make it, when I make it, to speak it into the world a little bit. And when I say make it, I don't mean be famous. I mean be comfortable in a position where I can do this for a living. That's
Yep.
my goal of
There
making
you
it.
go. There you go.
But when I do that, I know that I did it being me. I know that I did it not because I was trying to play a character. I'm not trying to play a character. I want people to fall in love with my personality. Same way if I'm dating, I want people to fall in love with what I'm doing, what I'm speaking about. Even if you hate me, you hate me because you hate me. You don't hate Brian B, the actor played by Brian, blah, blah, blah. No, you hate Brian B. You love Brian B. That's me all the
Yep.
way through, bro.
Yeah, me, I'm a bad actor, so I can't be anything else but myself. Like when you see me doing like an anime review or talking to somebody about their mental health or disability, whatever. The way I'm talking, that's just me. This
Yeah.
right here, this nerd right here, this is me.
Yeah.
Like this is me. This is me 100%. I can't do anything else. Well, I could, but I'm not great at acting. This is just me.
And
I'd
there's
rather be
nothing.
myself than be fake. I know a lot.
I respect that shit, bro, because it's very hard. And a lot of the people that I know that I talk to in this industry that that I'm connected with in this industry,
Yep.
yourself, Eric, Warren, like
Yep.
Devin, like you guys, Devin too. Devin, shit, he's on TV. Devin, he scrolls a lot. He does a lot. He does a whole bunch of different content. But
Mhm.
like all these guys, I don't see anybody performing, man. I don't see anybody performing like we get on. Maybe we get somewhere a little faster, like if we did perform. But I feel like we're always just kind of being who we are, yo. And I
Yeah.
respect that shit. I don't want to see nobody walking in the fucking thing with dumping cereal on their head, falling all on the floor, going up
Nah,
and
or
pranking
breaking into people's
people. And
houses for clicks, or
I
doing a
can't
stupid
fuck around.
crime. I think which we call it. I think Eric G. I saw a post that Eric G. was like, if you're gonna do a crime, why record it? Like why put it online? If you're gonna do something, why it's something like that, something dumb like that, why put it online?
Because we living in a false sense of reality. And that's what the scary thing is about this whole doom scrolling conversation we're having. The thing is, we're living in a world in our phones for the entire time that we're clicking. And if you're not aware, it's very easy to get lost now more than ever. It's very easy to become lost now more than ever because, like you were saying, Kyle, if you're not aware that, hey, people can take your shit and create a whole nother page and buy a fucking house and go kill somebody and then go ahead and be like, make a post on Facebook with your face and imagery and everything on that. I'm like, how could I have done that? This guy did it. He was right there. I got it right here. Now you're getting locked up at your job because somebody made a whole fucking image of you that puts you in a place of a murder scene or a crime. Now you are literally at the hands of the judicial system, praying that they're good at their jobs.
It is
because you're fucked.
That was actually a plot point. Remember Family Matters? They did an episode where I think Steve was accused of stealing something, or somebody was
the bug.
Yeah,
no, was it the bug? Somebody he sat on the bug. Carl sat on his bug or something. Pablo.
He had to go to court for something, like somebody had no, they were on jury duty. That's what it is.
In school. I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, so they were on jury duty. The case was somebody got accused of robbing a bank or something, and then come to find out, because they thought it was an open and shut case. They were ready to throw the book at the guy that was accused of doing it. Then Steve was like, "Oh no, something just doesn't seem right." Come to find out, it was video manipulation, right? So they and I know this is old, but
I know what you're talking about, though. Are you talking about it was like the teacher with the guy with the blonde hair, the straight blonde hair, and then they put the light on his hands, and he had the stuff on his hands, the chemicals on his hands, or something like that.
That's another one. But
that's not the same one.
That's another one. But this one, Steve had to go get his his old school laptop and show that you can manipulate video. Otherwise, this guy was about to get some serious jail time over some robbing the place, and it turned out to be the security guard or something. And I'm like, that was back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Now things have gotten to and they'll show you they'll show you how to do videos like that when you're scrolling. You never know where you're going to end up, what kind of rabbit hole you're going to end up in. Right now, I'm in a like I said, I've been trying to get back into like retro gaming and stuff like that. So I'm seeing people modding their old systems, modding their old computers, modding old, like Game Boys to have like 50 different games in one time. It's like, okay, this is dope. Shit. But then I scroll again, and then I'm seeing the balloon popping thing, and I'm like, I like this, but at the same time, I don't.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. That's another conversation that I want to have about. We might have to do a video games episode soon, because I heard some shit recently about the new Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2.
Oh yeah.
And I don't play Switch. Both of my kids have a Switch, and when I tell you, bro, if that's the area of where we're going,
$80 for a key code, bro.
Yeah, you can count me out. I'm not fucking
$80 for a key code.
I'm saying, like, I already don't. We're gonna do a whole episode about it, but I already don't really even play my game to the point now. But if you think I'm gonna spend $800 and then never own any fucking thing that I buy from now on, you out of your mind.
But that's what they've been telling us. But here's the thing: they're saying it, but they're saying it out loud. You better get used to not owning your games. Paying $80, $100 of $500 for a system and $100 for one game that you don't own. We can brick it if you try to change anything, and it's like,
that's right. Yeah,
you got your money though. You got your money.
We're gonna have a nice episode about that, Kyle. I had just heard that the other day, man. And because people modding and doing stuff like that, that's one of the reasons why they're trying to do it. But I'm saying, like, we're gonna talk about it. That's gonna be a real episode. So if you're a gaming fan, check us out. We definitely gonna talk about that. But right now we got deep. So try to if you find yourself and you can't get your jobs done, and you're wasting amounts of time, and you're losing time, or it can get real bad, man. It's just like any other kind of form of addiction, man. Try to check it.
It is a form of addiction. Like you got to
Giant.
see what it's doing, what it's done to like, like people's brains and our attention spans. That's why there's been so many studies. That's why there's been so many studies of like, especially with kids with developing brains, do not give them tablets at age between like the ages of like 5 and like 3 and 10. You know what I'm saying? Like
shit. My daughter, you forget about it. She's at a tablet since fucking like 1.
There are people out there amazed. There are people out there amazed that their kids can break into their, break through the parental controls and just. I'm like, it's nothing different than what we used to do, except they're doing it younger because they're watching you as they're doing it.
They're growing with it, bro. I used to say, I remember when I first, I had like an Xbox 360. I was playing Batman, the Arkham Knight, the Arkham City. It was before Arkham Knight. And my son picked up the controller, and this is when he was a baby, bro. He was like fucking maybe going on 2. And when I tell you, he picked up the controller, bro, and started pressing stuff, and wasn't just like randomly pressing. Like he started doing it. After he saw like how something worked, he was doing something.
He picked it up.
He wasn't like playing it, fucking beating it, but he saw something work and he was able to touch it, and he knew that's how it did that. Mm-hmm. Just like with toys that you press the buttons and it moves, or press the button and it's Oscar the Grouch or some shit.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but they're growing. This shit is in their environment. It's product of the environment. Man.
Exactly. This is the products of their environment. Like we and our parents and our parents' parents, we remember way before this stuff. We were growing up as it was happening. You know,
I love this segue we're about to make it right now. I love it.
We grew up during the early days of social media, where nobody was making money off of this.
Nah, hell no.
You know,
not Tom, MySpace Tom.
Salute to MySpace Tom. I never had a MySpace. I almost jumped on the MySpace train, but I was like, you know what? This is in my head. I was like, everybody's got a MySpace. I gotta find MySpace. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Kyle, you know something? Before MySpace, I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure people still remember. But there was I forgot what they were or where they were on, but used to make those pages. I don't know if it was I don't know, it wasn't AOL. It was something, but you used to make pages and you put your picture on there, and then you put different little GIFs all over the place. We were able
different
to put a background.
Photo blogs. It was like photo blogs and stuff. Early stuff.
I love that. That was the beginning shit for me. And when that's my age right there. That was like the first thing. When we first got a computer, no doubt about it. I was 6th, 7th grade. I used to go and I was in chat rooms. That was the biggest shit. I was on AOL. I was instant messaging.
There was no real restrictions. Like it wasn't really regulated.
That's right.
Like when somebody said age, sex, location, you had to.
Age, sex, location. You telling everybody your whole fucking life, talking to grown ass men. There was a couple girls I was talking to, and from different areas. I to this day I don't know if they were fake or real or whatever.
Having no idea. You know, during the To Catch a Predator days. On top of that, like
that's right.
You had no idea. Now they're blatantly telling you. You know?
Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck now, and there's like more scrutiny for it. But listen, guys, we've been having a great convo. I hope you guys enjoy the convo. Yo, just make sure you're being safe out here, because everything is not real. Please stop falling for it. Everything is not real, yo. And I know that's very hard because there are some things that are real. We've never lived in a time where you have to have more discernment and more basic kind of fucking comprehension, because if you can't be stupid out here. I tell my kids all the time, you guys can't be stupid. You have to be smart. You have to make good decisions, and we have to do things good, because this world will trip you up, bro. True. In so many ways. But now we at the top 5 time of the night, where me and Kyle go over the top 5 and the topics that we have just chosen for the day. And that is, guys, if you didn't know from the introduction, our top 5 of the night is favorite things you did before the internet days. And by internet days, I mean, of course, your cell phone and social media and even chat rooms and shit. You know, even before that stuff. What were you doing? I think it's going to be an interesting list, Kyle. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna have some. I'm gonna
I think
pictures.
I think we might have some crossovers though.
I do think so.
You know.
I do think so. Let's find out. All right, we're gonna start, of course, number 5 going to number 1. Number 5, this is what I miss, okay? And I'm not gonna say it as me because I definitely was one of these kids. I was always outside, bro. Kids, for me, kids being outside. I don't know about in y'all area where y'all live. If there's a whole bunch of kids outside, congratulations. Congratulations. What I know is I live right here. I'm in a nice little neighborhood. You know, we live right around the corner from our kids' middle school, where they walk to it, 5-minute walk. Nice area, a lot of grass, a lot of area to go and run around. There's 3 parks, literally 3 parks within 3 minutes of us. When I tell you, I don't never really see kids outside, bro. It's crazy to me. I don't see kids riding bikes. Every now and then I'll see kids like in front of their house playing basketball or something. But to be a kid like I was and to be out and running around and driving my bike all over and going to the store and going to the movies, whatever, going to kids' house, playing video games and shit, I don't see any of that, man. My kids don't ever come home with it. I miss kids being outside, bro.
Yeah.
How you feel?
That's the same for me on number 5, outside. Outside. I had to be forced to go outside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had to be forced to go outside because my mom didn't want me in front of the TV like that. She wanted me to, go out, use my imagination. I did have neighborhood friends, you know what I'm saying? So it did make it easier, but I didn't always like being outside because I was afraid of falling and getting hurt. But at the same time, also wanted to play with the kids. It was like a mixture of things. I couldn't climb trees, but I could run. I could, I could play. I could play basketball. I could, play on the jungle gym because I had upper body strength. So that was cool. But going outside, I don't really see that much either. Like and just like you said, I see occasionally kids on a bike, like a kid on a bike or whatever, or somebody playing basketball in their front yard. But I remember watching kids put like trading cards in the spoke of their motor in the spoke of their bikes, have them sound like motorcycles. And I'm like, that just sounded so cool to me. I remember
creativeness, man.
I remember hanging out at my cousin's place because they used to drop me off at my cousin's house, and it would be like during the spring, early summer, and she'd be making ices for the kids, right? She'd be selling the ices in the cups, right? And I miss that, you know what I'm saying? It's
stuff like that was amazing, bro. Shit, we just went to the park yesterday, and there was a whole bunch we got one park around here where there's like a whole bunch of soccer fields, and kids run around, and there was a little was a smoothies truck or whatever that was out there with fucking hundreds of kids and adults and their parents, and they got 7 different soccer fields, a huge park, bro. Got a big track you can walk around. We love that park. And I was just looking around. I was like, damn, bro, this is a little hustle right here, man. You put together some hot dogs or some little plates, like little dinner plates, and just come over there with a sign. Yeah, sell dinners right here, man. Like you said, ices and shit like that. Bro, that's a hustle, man.
I got cousins who sell lemonade.
Lemonade. My daughter's
sell lemonade.
dying for me to do that shit. Yeah. That's awesome, bro. That's really awesome. But yeah, just being outside, man. I had a lot of fun when I was outside too. When I was a kid, I had a great childhood, man. I can't even act like I didn't. I had a lot of friends. We were always outside, whether it was my friends, whether it was my cousins. Got in super trouble with my cousins. I used to just play around with my friends. Like, there was times when me and the neighbor kids, we go sit on the porch, especially at night. It was something so magical, bro. And I know I sound so corny saying this shit. But it's real.
Speak your piece.
It's real. Like, when we used to play outside, everybody goes in once it starts getting dark, but we had like a porch. So it was like a porch, and there was 4 apartment doors on one, little building or whatever. Yep. And then, maybe 6 buildings to a block. So we, be outside, and at the end, when everybody's done, we'd get our water and we'd all sit on the stoop. Like, you had the stoop in front of the house. It was like 2 steps and then, the doors. So at some nights, man, we go out. It'd be like, the stars and everything be out. It was a little forest in the back of our apartment complex. And
Yep.
we sit there and see all the stars and just be out there talking to each other, talking about wrestling, talking about, coloring. I remember this one neighbor, she came to the house and she gave me, my sister, my boy Mike, she gave us all of these coloring books and crayons and shit. She
Nice.
drove by. We used to knock on the people's doors and just like talk to them, say, "Hey, how you guys doing?" or whatever. That's how free we were as kids. Like we used to pet people's dogs who were walking their dogs. We had a whole bunch of friends and neighbors that had dogs. They used to bring their dogs over. We used to play with them outside. That's how free we were as kids, bro.
Yeah.
And then it's like now it sucks because even with my kids, like, and I'm super cautious with my kids, but I send them out. They go and they walk the dog together. They walk around the neighborhood a little bit, and then they go and they play. But I don't send them. They don't fucking walk around this whole thing. Kids ain't ended up missing.
And the funny thing is, like, the way, like, I see, like we're millennials, right? We're of the same generation, but we were we were still of the latchkey kid generation. Right?
Yeah, we were. We were the last generation without technology, bro. Literally, that's our generation. We were the last ones before technology took over.
And now we have I'm hearing people who leave their kids alone for like a few hours or whatever. The kid, like the parents, they getting in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But they're like, but my kid's like 14, 15. What do you mean? You can't give them a little responsibility? But I get it. It's not the world, unfortunately, has as much technology as we have, it's kind of gotten worse.
Dumbed down a hell of a lot. Yeah. Everybody's gotten so much knowledge that they think that they're smarter than they really are. But let's keep going though, because we might touch some of these on some of the other.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you said you had your number 5. You said you also had kids outside.
Kids outside, yeah.
Kids outside. Number 5. We matching right there. All right, for number 4, top 5, number 4. Now I might have said this a little wrong, but I'm gonna explain what I mean. And this is artist character. Okay. Now what I really meant was artistic character. Now what I mean by that is I don't know if you guys remember, man. Well, we remember, Kyle. But when you used to watch cartoons, man, remember when cartoons came out, and whether it be like, like, of course, the 90s is when you taught me, Nickelodeon came out with the Rugrats. Nickelodeon came out with Doug and
Ren and
Arthur.
Stimpy. And
remember Ren and Stimpy, Arthur, Beavis and Butthead. Like, remember the character of those cartoons. Everything wasn't all, one shade. Everything is all computer generated. Everything is all, no, it was artistry, bro. It was, you saw,
they didn't all look the same.
Everything was different. When the pictures would move, it would have that weird kind of wiggle motion. Like everything was moving, and it was more engaging because of that. Was it the best graphics in the world? No, but that's what gave it that definition, that added character. I miss that shit, bro. I miss that shit with a lot of things. When South Park came out, it was like the first time you saw like some damn construction paper put together. It was like, but this shit was it was more interesting because of that, because it didn't look like everything. Now I feel like everything kind of looks the same. Everything's computer generated. There's no like artistry behind it. It's more just like it's just done by fucking, the thoughts into a computer, and then the computer spits the shit out, and it's not any kind of like handcrafted definition, bro. I miss stuff like that.
That's a lot of animators right now are still fighting for their jobs because the big corporations, basically they want to use AI for things. They want to hire less people. They want to get rid of, like, if you're Warner Brothers, you're not really giving a crap about animation, even if it is something like the Looney Tunes, which is their, like, one of their number one IPs. You know what I'm saying? That's like Disney suddenly getting rid of Mickey Mouse.
It
doesn't make any sense how animation still get, it kind of gets the shaft. There's a lot of great stuff out there, and if you want to see some really nice, like, hand drawn or computer animation, now there's a lot. There's been a independent a cartoon revolution out there. All you gotta do is look.
Yeah, yeah, you do have to search. I mean, you can search for damn near anything,
Yep.
because you'll find something that's one of the advantages of the internet. But it's just like I just miss that natural kind of just like when you're watching something. I remember watching the old episodes. I was showing my daughter like just different things I used to watch when I used to grow up, man.
Yep.
And from Spider-Man to X-Men, like everything was just it just felt like it had so much more character
Yeah.
because of how it was represented, how it was, how the imagery looked on top of, the acting or whatever, the script or whatever. But
Yeah.
now it's just like everything is just so asymmetrical, bro. It's just like one-sided. And if I said that right,
Not everything needs to be perfect. Like,
yeah, it does. That's a good ass way of saying it. Like you enjoy the imperfections of some things, bro. Like
yep.
I don't have to see my games. Like I said this shit a long time ago about video games. I don't care about it looks so like I'm starting not to give a fuck about that anymore because it looks real, but the game is
But
boring as shit.
the the point of all of this is escapism, And if something
Yeah.
starts looking too real, like I'm looking at you, Disney, trying to make everything that was once animated realistic, it does not translate the same. It does not translate the same. That's why I couldn't get down with Lion King, because number one, it's the same exact movie. It's the
You are
same exact
absolutely
movie,
right.
but
Absolutely right.
no expression, no nothing.
Yep.
You made them look way too real as lions, because
Just like,
lions don't do that in real life.
did you see the animation that they had that they were like, I don't know if you saw the same thing I saw. I saw something about that too. But they showed like how they were trying to make them look, and it looked cartoonish, but it was still with the live representation. But like you
Nah.
said, I saw it, and I'm telling you right now, it would have been way better if they did it to the same degree of, hey, it's live action, but it's still the cartoon imagery.
Mm,
You don't have to see it to understand what I'm talking about because it looked
yeah.
really good.
Mm.
But like you said, when they just made them fucking lions, I felt like I was watching the National Geographic. It didn't.
It's the same.
It didn't feel
It's
like.
the same exact movie. Nothing changed.
Yeah, bro. I
You
don't
know.
fucking know. I don't know, man.
Mm.
But all right, that's my number 4 though. I missed the artistic expression, bro, in different forms of entertainment. But
Yeah.
what you got for number 4?
And number 4 for me is playing video games face to face.
Oh shit. Okay, so face to face. What do you mean?
What I mean is, you and your boys go to somebody's house. We're at, you're in your room. Everybody gets their controllers and just goes,
Gotcha.
And if
Yep,
you
I do know what you're talking about.
and if somebody rages out, they're not over a computer or nothing like that. And I hate, and I don't spend a lot of time online gaming. When online gaming became a thing, and I started meeting people online, that was before I was hearing reports of like racial slurs being exchanged back and forth, or now now on freaking Fortnite we got the AI Darth Vader saying all these ridiculous
bull crap.
things. And while it looks fun at first, I'm like, y'all are kind of just sucking the fun out of it. It's entertaining, but in the worst way.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I didn't even think about that really, but you're absolutely right, bro. Because a lot of games don't even let you play without like you
Being
can't
online.
do like 2 players. You have to play it online.
You gotta play online.
Me and my wife, like we've had many a times where we like to play games together. Like we'll even play single player games and we'll just pass the controller. Like, here, you do this part, I'm gonna do this part.
There you go.
And but we like the 2-player games, bro. But they're a lot harder to find because everybody wants you to go in fucking single player mode until you get online and then do Call of Duty shit all day. I want to, like you said, bro. I don't even care if it's split screen. The last game I remember, and this chick goes back a little bit.
Yep.
But me and my boy Carlos, man, we was at my friend's house, and me and my boy Carlos came over one day. He was like, "Yo, you want to play this game, Gears of War?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, let's play. Fucking, we ain't doing nothing. We older. We just like we out of high school at this point." And he put on Gears of War, and I'm sitting there playing it. It was a split screen. We had fun as shit. We was just in there, yo, go that way, go that way, go that way. And we was just in the room, just chilling, fucking me, Jay, his dad, They in the room just playing. I never played this shit before in my life, but I remembered it because it was the last like split screen kind of we in the room together game that I remember playing. Me and my wife will play fighting games every now and then, but as far as just like a 2-player game,
Yeah.
they don't got a lot of them shits anymore, bro. You're
And
absolutely right.
it is all about like, hey, and I am all for finding a community online. I am all for that. Especially like the reason being is because now the world is more open, and people learn from other people around the world. But then on the flip side of that same coin, you got people who just out here trolling people for no reason.
Trolling the shit.
I'd rather just go back to be playing, games with my boys. And now that I'm older and I'm an uncle, I want to share that experience with my nieces and nephews. You know what I'm saying? So so that is my number 4, playing video games face to face.
That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. All right, guys, we on number 3. We halfway there. Number 3. This is something I had to think about it, but this is something that I really miss, bro. And in the world that we live in today, I mean, people may not agree with me too much or whatever, but I feel like one of the things that we have gained from having all these attachments to whether it be social media, whether it just be all these different forms in our pocket, every fucking thing. We have a lot more influences that we have to deal with now. Okay. And when I say influences, I mean things that you see outside of your home, outside of your, city, or, where you go to school. You have a lot more shit that you have the ability to see. We were kind of talking about this earlier, Kyle, when you were saying about like, the Catch a Predators and the AOL chat rooms and shit.
Yep.
That's influence, yo. You have the ability to talk to somebody that's not around you, that's nowhere near you, that's from a completely different area, and get a different train of thought or a different, way of thinking from somebody who's nowhere near you. Most of the time, you're in 2nd grade, you got the 5th graders around you, you may get a little influence from. You got TV, you may get a little influence from. You get a movie, you may get a little. You get a video game, you may get a little influence. But nowadays, bro, the influence, like you said, my daughter holds a tablet all the time. Does she do great things with it? Yeah, she knows how to reach, knows how to do all this shit or whatever. But at the same time, there's still other stuff. She's doing these dances that I've never seen in any show she watches or anything like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of influence that comes with social media, bro. And there's a lot of influence coming with everything, but there's way more that you have the ability to gain from social media and from the internet and from everything like that. And I do miss the ease of people having less information, being able to be guided in these ways, man. So less influence is my number 3, bro. What you
got? Number 3 for me, I used to work out a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I stopped. Like I just almost completely stopped doing it. Like I used to go home and lift weights, especially on weekends.
Yeah.
Especially because I was a homebody and I had, and I bought like free weights, and I used to, do like little workouts. I would see some workouts online, but then also read up on like how to get abs, how to get certain like, and one day one of my family members sees me and they're like, what the heck happened to Kyle? And then my sister chimes in and is like, all he does is he's just in his room and he's either playing video games or working out. That was pretty much it. I had stopped. Now I'm doom scrolling all day. Like, I'm doom scrolling all day. My concept of time, depending on how long I'm on the phone, if I'm on the phone or I'm on the phone, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I definitely understand. So what would you say your number 3 is then? Just because of the time that you could be having working out?
I miss my concept of time. My attention span has gone down.
I get that shit. That was the whole thing we were talking about today. I completely understand, man.
My attention span has gone down. My concept of time when I'm doom scrolling. When I'm talking to like friends, family, or my girlfriend, that's different.
Yeah.
I'm engaging with them. I'm listening to what they have to say. I'm adding points. We're having a good time, and I'm showing that I love them. But then before I even go to sleep. My average bedtime is between 1:30 a.m.
Oh,
Right?
okay. So you going to sleep late.
It used to be like I used to go to sleep at around like 10 or 11, right?
Okay.
Now it's 12, 12, 1 o'clock. And sometimes I'll get off the phone with babe, right? I'll get off the phone with babe, say my I love yous, all that good stuff. And next thing you know, I'm on YouTube for another 2 hours,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that's me every fucking night, bro.
Like I'm
I'm
on
on
YouTube for another 2 hours. I
TikTok,
know
Instagram, Facebook, all that shit, yo.
I already know I saw this video. Oh, how's what I uploaded the other day doing? Okay, it's doing it's doing
Yup.
okay, or it's doing bad. And they just put out a new video. I didn't see that. How come I didn't see that? Oh, because YouTube's not sending me all my notifications. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. Why am I
Right.
still up?
That fast. I do that shit every night. Yep, that's what we were talking about doom scrolling earlier. Like it literally is the same thing. But it be times in the day, man. Since I've been home and been able to do the beeline, I'm on the computer and I look at the clock when I give my daughter breakfast and shit like that or whatever. And then we used to do homeschool. And before you know it, man, I'll be a couple hours in or whatever, and I'm scrolling through shit, doing this. And right now I'm like, damn, it's lunchtime. Damn, the kids are home. Damn, my wife is home. Like, how would the fucking day go so fast? And then you realize I've been online a lot today.
Yeah.
A lot. I didn't go outside. I didn't fucking, touch grass. None of that stuff. I could have walked. I could have took the dog to the dog park. I mean, it's a little different because I am working, but
You are
at the same
working,
time,
but
yeah, it's like there's definitely I'm working for me. You feel me? It's not like I'm punching the clock and I'm on strict rules.
yeah.
But it's just like I could have done something else, but I did spend a lot of time just on fucking internet, on the internet, on social media, on whatever. And then when I go to sleep, I'm about to go do it in a minute. I'm about to go upstairs. That's my time. That's my time. Like when I lay down, I'm able to. I still wake up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
But I have to scroll, man. I got to see what I want to see. Got to learn my little lessons and see what I want to talk about. So I definitely get concept of time with that one. So
yeah,
that's a good one. All right, number two, we're getting up there. We almost done, guys. Number 2 for me. True talent. Let me explain.
I think I might know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
No, we've talked about it. We've talked about it in the past, bro. We actually just recently talked about it when we were talking about the video editing.
Yeah.
With now, not saying that there's never been, but more than ever, bro. Especially before the internet, people used to have talent. You had to have talent. And now it's like, you literally can, pay a service or purchase software or do whatever to make videos for you, to edit for you, to draw for you, to put a fucking package together for you, you can literally do Chat GPT to write a book report for your ass.
Yep.
You don't gotta do shit. Just like you were saying, Kyle, you can sing a song, sound bad, get some software, change everything so you sound amazing, and put a mixtape out.
Yep.
Why not? Why not? You have the ability to do that shit.
Yep.
So it's like the fact that when you come across true talent, or because everybody has such access to these methods, it's hard to find actual talent because it seems like everybody's talented. It seems like everybody. If you think about it, I remember when we used to do music and stuff, man.
Yep.
And when you think about it, you start hearing some people where you're like, man, you hear somebody and you're like, especially like if you're an MC, if you're a singer, that used to be the easiest. Like, man, that person can really sing. But now everything is exactly right, Kyle. But now it's like everything is so subjective that you can have a case for everything. Oh, well, I think that they sing. But before it was just like, yo, if you're talking about, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston,
Michael Jackson, Prince.
Michael Jackson. If you're going to say that they can sing and then you got somebody who visibly can't really sing, but then somebody just likes how they sound, I don't know how the realm is anymore to where it's like, yo, this is factual and this is representation. Like, it's really weird. And that's what I feel like we're missing a lot now with the days of being online. Like, it's way harder to tell a true artist. Are you a true artist because you drew a picture and painted it all from imagery in your head? Or are you a true artist because you had an iPad and you traced something and it looks amazing? Either ways can.
I don't know. Like occasionally,
Where's
I
the
will.
fucking barrier, yo?
It is very like these days you have the singer, you have the singer, you have the songwriter, and now you have once again AI with so much like, but it can be both entertaining, but both very both very like just it makes me cringe a bit at the same time because now there's like AI music videos and there's
Yeah,
AI Spotify playlists and full albums of just
exactly.
AI made stuff.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I do not hate all of it. There
I,
is
yeah.
there's some of it like I got one AI song on a playlist right now because it just dude, oh man.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, and the thing is, bro, is like I'm not saying that everything is bad, man. I'm just the
Yeah.
thing that I miss is just the clear depiction, bro. And I mean, even
Yeah.
before, I'm not saying like art is subjective. Like you so one person can see a painting and be like, that's beautiful. Another person can say, oh, it's ugly. Like it definitely is. But at the same time, it's like Kyle, like we had this conversation, and it's just
Yeah.
like, yo, you know how hard we can work at making video edits. You know how hard we
Yeah.
can work at trying to make something look good, trying to make a brand, trying to make a logo, trying to do all this different stuff, bro. And then
Mm-hmm.
you get somebody who goes and takes that shit and throws it into a computer and spits it out, and then they give it to somebody, and then you say, then you kind of think to yourself, then why the fuck don't I just do that?
I don't know.
We talk about the movie, the script writers and stuff like that or whatever.
Yep.
Just like we were just talking about before. You
Yep.
get somebody who's sitting up, they go fucking rent a cabin on a lake somewhere for a month, and they write a whole story, a whole book, a whole script. But then you got one fucking guy who presses a button on his computer and say, "Hey, ChatGPT, write me a
Write
movie about Taco Bell and make it have 5 characters in it." And then they make that shit in 5 minutes, and then they go and take it and they go produce it somewhere.
Yeah, if you use
Bro.
ChatGPT to help, that's I'll give you that. If because ChatGPT does make mistakes, so you got to go back in and correct some correct some mistakes or whatever, right?
Fix the outline. That's
Fix
not
the
even
outline.
hard.
Like I know one of our friends right now who's using both his writing talent and ChatGPT to write a series of books. That's cool. But if you're relying on the machine to do everything for you, keep in mind it had to be fed all of these books, all of this writing style, all of these things in order to do what it does. So
But I'm just saying, yo, Cal, I'm just saying, yo, you're saying it in a good way. I'm not gonna lie, you're saying it in a good way, and I definitely understand what you mean.
yep.
But at the end of the day, with ChatGPT, you can literally just say, like, for people who really, this shit doing shit that I didn't even know. There's people uploading their resumes into it, and it's giving them suggestions for.
Oh yeah,
Bro, this shit is fucking RoboCop life, yo.
yep.
But you can sit back and say, ChatGPT, write me a movie about a mouse who got lost in the city and he wanted to find the cat that was his best friend and his wife was pregnant at home. And this motherfucking shit will write you a legit script for the shit.
Facts.
Legit.
Yep.
Legit. You're right. It does make mistakes. You may have to go back there and change a couple. Oh, he didn't get in the 3-door car. It's a 4-door car. But at the end of the day, this motherfucker just wrote you. And even if you added, even if you added a new ending, you added a new ending. Oh, instead of them getting into a fight, they hugged each other and then they all went to celebrate Christmas together. Oh, okay. It's mine now. Me and ChatGPT wrote it.
And that is no, and as bad as and you're right because kids be using it to write essays and stuff. So it's
nothing against them. I would if I was a kid, I'd never do homework again.
Yo,
I get every book report.
I knew somebody who hired people to do their homework for her, and I'm like,
that's so lazy.
No, like she hired people back in high school to. We didn't go to the same school, but she told me about this one day when she came to visit, right? And she's like, wait, I'm like, you did that? She's like, yeah, why not? I'm like, what do you mean, why not? They're not doing their homework, they're doing yours. And like, I hope you paid them well. Shoot,
Bro.
you know?
Yeah, I
How do
know.
you do
I
that
know.
and not worried about getting caught? I'd be too much of a chicken. I'm gonna be
Man,
honest.
listen, bro. It's crazy, but it's like that's what I mean about true talent. I just like you have too many people who when you think about it, bro. And I know we're going on about this, but it's real. Like if you what's that phrase where it's like, if everybody's talented, nobody is. Like
Yeah.
it's difficult to find the standouts in a world full of manipulation, bro. It's like there's no way to really stand out successfully, man. That's why, like, even when we were talking before, bro, it's hard for us to have, good, credible shit. Maybe we're corny, maybe we fucking horrible. But when you're being put up against, people who are fucking, diving off of cliffs without a parachute and surviving, and you're like, even I want to watch that shit more. But it's like, it's like, where can you find the balance of like realism? Like, where can you be engaged by somebody's conversation? Where can you be engaged who's not a celebrity? You feel me? Like, who's not a fucking a beautiful chick that's like, obviously like you're getting attention for a multitude of reasons, not just because of what you're trying to portray. I'm not trying to go on and on, but I'm just saying, like, I miss being able to find that genuine shit before everything was manipulated, bro. And it's more manipulated than ever.
I hear you.
I miss that. I miss that shit for sure. True talent. What you got for your number 2, bro?
Attention span.
Attention span. Oh shit.
My attention span is shot, bro. Like, I wish I had my attention span back. My patience is what I miss. Remember, you know what I'm saying?
I'll put patience.
Patience is what I miss. I feel like I've had to like learn how to be a more patient guy as I got older. But now everything is readily available right then,
immediately.
Right, that's like right then and there. We sometimes we act like we're entitled to the information. Oh, this movie's coming out when? You promised this when this you know what I mean? This product is supposed to and not to mention, I'm no longer on Twitter or anything like that.
Oh,
but
man,
now we have more access to the people we follow, i.e., celebrities and role models and stuff, than ever.
That's right.
And like
more than anything.
And I see people with their entitlement. Just, okay, look, the movie went like this, or my paper said this because of this. I told you that this was coming out at this point in time. Please be more, just be patient with me. But people want to figuratively knock down their door and demand whatever it is.
You said this, I'm supposed to have entitlement. And yeah, you are right. It is an absolute situation that comes from us just feeling like we always deserve everything. We always deserve everything right now. We always deserve everything. Louis C.K. did a great bit about that stand-up comedy, and he said he was talking about airplanes. He said one time he got in an airplane, and this is before Wi-Fi was big in airplanes, and they said, hey, listen, they got on the microphone and said, hey, we're actually going to be one of the first planes ever to have Wi-Fi, and we're going to let you guys have Wi-Fi while you guys are flying today. And then they said they started flying, and then all of a sudden the Wi-Fi went down, and they got on the microphone and they said, hey, I'm sorry, but actually, the Wi-Fi actually just went down. And then Louis C.K., he said the guy next to him was like, this is fucking bullshit. And he said, how does the world owe you something you didn't even know existed?
Man.
And he's right.
It is, no, that is true. No, that is true. But here's an internet trend that feels like it should not be a trend. It just feels like regular. It's a sign of how times have changed. Have you? Okay, so the term raw dogging, right?
Oh man, no other.
We the dude with 4 kids. Anyway,
listen, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
But
now me and shit.
but the current definition, the new definition, is just waiting for things and doing nothing. You go on a flight. I'm a raw dog, and I'm gonna go with no Wi-Fi, no devices, no nothing.
I do what I was talking about. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I'm like, but that's not a new concept.
Yeah,
that's not a new concept. I'm gonna go on a trip, and I'm just gonna raw dog, and I'm gonna wait. But hold on, that's not a new concept. That is just from your point of view. It's new for you, but we grew up in a time where all that stuff was not available because it wasn't a thing yet, or at least it wasn't as popular as it was. Now you have some kids out here that they get so overwhelmed by all the information, or they're online all the time, and they get like, look, I need a break, so they need a regular flip phone. And
that's a big thing right now. They're going back. They're going backwards in technology, which respect to them, because this shit's getting crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's getting crazy, bro. It's got to be hard, man. That's why I'm trying so hard to deal with my kids the way that I am, because it's like, there's, like I said, influence. There's so much influence, man. Whether you're a girl, whether you're a guy, they're whether it be they're them trying to, I understand trying to respect, male feelings and stuff like that, but it does feel like, it's going deeper than just respect. It's getting to a point where it's like you're acting like men are just supposed to sit around and just fucking cry all the time. And I never will agree with that. I feel like, as a man, you do uphold some type of, caliber with yourself, to where you have to be in some form of, you want to be that protector. I don't give a fuck if you're the protector of, I'm fighting the bear by myself with my bare hands, or like, listen, this dude's a little too close. I'm gonna get on his phone, call these cops, and make sure my girl is protected. You got to have, I'm not saying everybody's got to be a tough guy, but you definitely have to represent something as far as being a man. Now, if you're going to be the man who's going to say, oh, baby, handle that for me. I'm just saying, like, does that really look like that is any kind of trait that you're going to try to pass down for generations? Don't worry about trying. I feel like there's got to be some kind of realism that we keep to progress, bro. But it's an argument that you can have for days, because there's people out there who feel like, hey, if I'm scared, I'm going to express it. That's fine. But understand, like I tell my children, consequences come with everything you do. If you're going to present yourself in a way where you're going to allow yourself to be represented as a weak individual who cannot progress through any kind of struggle or hardship, just deal with the fact that you're not going to be respected in the same way that somebody who is doing that shit. So you can either work out a little bit more, try to get a little stronger and grow a little courage or bravery, or you can just sit back and shut the fuck up and just allow people to understand that there's a difference.
You gotta there's
people, man.
With me, I know that there's a balance. Like I will express how I'm feeling, to my peoples, because they know me, they trust me. I'm not going to put my entire business on the internet for a bunch of strangers. There are times where I feel great, or I feel a certain way, and I want to express it to see how other people feel. But that's not the way I want to get validated. And babe, you were talented too. She's an artist.
Thank you, Ty.
She got all and honestly, the first time I heard her voice, I'm gonna be honest, talking about true talent. First time I heard her voice, she recited a poem. Right.
Okay.
First time I heard her voice, she recited an original poem she had wrote for some friends, and she was apprehensive about reciting it, but she did for me. And that's was shortly after we met. And I'm like, you got a nice voice. That is literally how I heard her voice for the first time.
That's awesome, bro.
Talk about talent right there.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I feel like as far as like, I know who I am as a person, as a man. I hold the door open for everybody. It ain't like, it's not the whole, I'm the man, so I gotta hold the door open for my lady. No, I'm gonna hold my door open for my lady. I'm gonna open the door for whoever needs it, because it's just a good thing to do. I'm not trying to act like, I'm the nicest guy, because everybody, like, a nice guy doesn't have to say he's a nice guy. He just is.
It's just what you represent, bro.
It's just what I represent over,
Yeah.
over here, like, and if I say something to someone and they say I'm out of line, I'd rather you tell me to my face
Yeah.
that I am being out of line, or I need to roll back what I said. Let's talk about it. And if
Yeah. Oh yeah.
let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Real,
And that
like a real conversation. We getting older out here, okay?
Oh God, but that's the thing, bro. It's like, everything you're talking about right now, man. It's like that's the whole thing about whether it be, maturing is
Yep.
really like a better way of
Maturing,
speaking about it. Maturing.
Hopefully you're maturing.
Hopefully you're maturing,
Hopefully.
yeah. But it's like for a lot of people, man, it's like they focus so much on validation that they don't, to me, and this is all just my opinion, bro. Like, what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like,
Mhm.
to me, people focus more on validation and how, because other things may be intimidating, because other things may be something that they cannot obtain. I mean, you see it all the time, whether it comes with people being fat. And instead of saying like, hey, I'm overweight, it's something that I can take care of on my own. I can work harder and find the balance. It's a hard struggle for me, but I am overweight, and I know that it is something that I am dealing with. Instead of admitting to that truth, you're going to try to make a truth and say, I'm overweight, but nobody should see me that way. Fuck. What the fuck? And listen, and like I said, this isn't an attack on it. I know. I just told him, me and my wife have an amazing, that's why I'm drinking water. I'm doing a whole bunch of shit. I'm trying because I know personally, like, hey, listen, I've let myself go. I've done stuff wrong. I can admit it. My maturity. I can admit that I've made some mistakes and I need to correct some of the mistakes that I've made. It's unhealthy lifestyle. I'm doing things wrong. I'm not moving as much as I used to. And I didn't realize the benefits of, or not the benefits, but I didn't realize the repercussions as much as I do now. So I can acknowledge it and I can speak on it. Just like you said, I can speak. I'm a nice guy. Hold the door open for everybody. Ain't just you. No, you just hold the door open because I'm a girl and you're a guy. No, I don't. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do it for everybody, because everybody deserves respect. That's
your maturity, bro. But that's your maturity. That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that we live in a world now where it's like the validation. I don't even know how we got on this topic, but I know that this is part of what we're talking about with patience. Like, with understanding that we live in a different world now where you can't just feel some type of way. You can't just think that your feelings are going to validate all the way through, and they should, because you have to understand you don't live here alone. You can speak the way you feel. That's where the respect comes from. I respect your feeling because, you're being upfront and you're being honest and you're being open. You have to respect that shit. For people who don't, then that's their fucking decision to be, crappy people or whatever. But when you are able to acknowledge who you are, who you represent, and you don't fear it, even if you want to just kind of hold back, you don't want to release it all the way.
Yep.
It's so much more respect, in my opinion, where I'm like, I love speaking to real ass people. I love speaking. If I'm talking too much, like, Pete, sometimes I just don't really like how you do this. I'm like, my bad, bro. Shit, I don't
understand. Let's see where everyone is coming from.
That's right. That's right, man. Be honest, be open, be real, as open as you feel comfortable being. Like, just be true to yourself, yo. Stop trying to make the whole world conform to your motherfucking mentality because you're uncomfortable with coming out with real, honest, true life shit. That's my point. I don't even know if we on that shit. But all right, patience, Kyle said, all right, guys, we're gonna get to the number one. We went 2 hours today, Kyle. We doing big shit.
Yep.
Number one. This is number one top favorite things that you did before the internet. My number one thing, and I know this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but my number one thing without the internet is having shit be out of sight, out of mind. What I mean by this, and I even had to explain it to my wife when I was talking about it with her. There was a time, like you said, Kyle, where you had to turn on the TV, you had to turn on the news, you had to turn on go to work and somebody's talking about it at work. Sometimes there was celebrities that passed away. Remember back in the day when a celebrity passed away and you didn't know about that shit until you got home from school, and
there was like a news report or something. Yeah,
exactly. there was a lot of stuff, and that's just a small realm, before oh, Gaza is going through this, or Russia and they're going through that, or you didn't know about all this shit, man. You didn't know about half of this shit. But now it's like you can't do anything without knowing everything going on up your ass as soon as you pull out a damn phone, bro. What up, Harris? Salute, fellas. Live in 45. Either of y'all have gas left in the tank? Man, damn, I'm over here. We just did a 2-hour show, and now he gonna drop that on me. I might have to go stop by because I gotta put this studio together a little bit tonight, so I might be up. I might come join you, Harris. Send me the link. I might come join you for sure. Damn, Brian B about to do a double.
You about to do a double? You about to do a double shift?
Do a double, man. Shout out to Harris. I ain't been on Harris in a while.
Shout out to Harris.
But yeah, man. Like I just miss that naive feeling. If that's even what it's called. I miss that. Just like you were saying before, like how much stuff do you think about on your own without being persuaded or guided or just like aware.
That's a good question.
It's crazy. Just think about how many thoughts you may have if you weren't, always just even little shit, not even big things. Oh, the Easter Bunny's coming to the mall on Saturday. Oh, Easter Bunny. Like you're not allowed as much time with just your own personal thoughts because you consistently, you like you said earlier, Kyle, you have a phone. Yep. And most motherfuckers don't. It's like the least thing you use it for at this point.
You don't use it as with its original function. We don't use there. I saw a report earlier about about some kids today. They don't know how to really make a phone call. They get like really nervous making phone calls. And while I can understand being nervous making phone calls, it should not be your everyday thing. But that's why people do. They'd rather do the text. They'd rather do they'd rather use it as the mini computer that it's become. You know what I'm saying?
Mini computer. It was a while back when I was working at, not even that long ago, but it was a while back. I was working at Target. I was working at Target in electronics. Yeah. And I used to help a lot of senior citizens and stuff would come in and they would want to have help with their phones and stuff like that or whatever. That's me even at 30. That's all of us.
that's all of us because we have seen this stuff evolve and we embrace technology for the most part. You know,
we do. We definitely do. But I used to help the older citizens with their phones and stuff. And I used to say it like to them when I was showing them, like, this isn't just a blah 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 anymore. Like with this phone, because they'd upgrade to the touch phones and shit. I'm like, you got a calculator on here. You have you could check your emails. You could do a whole bunch of them. I'm showing them. And I used to just joke around. I was like, yeah, this thing is kind of like a remote for your life. It's like a remote for your life. I used to joke around saying that shit, and legit, that's really what your cell phone is, bro. Everything you have, think about it, bro. Did you ever think that we'd be at a point, and this is minimal now, but where you can get your paycheck and take a picture of it and send your bank? That's fucking insanity, bro.
Man, get your paycheck, get paid a day or two early, have it already in the bank for you. Set up banking. You don't even have to human. Oh my God, that's my number one.
What?
Human interaction. We like even as introverted as I am, human interaction is not really a thing anymore.
No, it's not.
As like we do not like. I realize people don't like people. I have realized that people do not like people. We tolerate each other. We tolerate each other for the most part.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right. But even like you were saying about the talking on the phone, like, people don't even want to hear each other speaking, and the gigantic difference in, like you even said with your girl, man, when you heard her voice and it was beautiful, and she could have texted you that poem, and she would have texted you that poem, and you would have read it, and you probably would have been like, man, this is amazing. Hearing her say it brought a whole different aspect. It's kind of like how we were talking about the artistry, about watching that cartoon, and you're seeing the depictions of the drawings that are coming to life on the screen instead of just a generated fake just transition of a drawing that was made in a different way or whatever. So it's like everything loses its character, man. Even our interaction with each other. You can't text somebody. I don't know why this thought came to my head today. Maybe it's because we're talking about it tonight. Text somebody I love you. Just text them. Text anybody, your mom, your dad, your whoever. Text them I love you. And let them pick up the phone and they're going to read it. How are they going to read it? They're going to read it. I love you. Kyle sent me I love. Brian sent me I love you. Oh, that's awesome. Now tell somebody. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. Beeline. Control your draws, all right? Because I'm gonna get a little real for y'all right now, all right? I love you. I love you. I love you. Love you. I said that shit 4 times. Yep. And depending who I was talking to, that message was delivered in fucking 4 different ways. But if I texted you that shit, it would have been 4 of the same fucking ways.
You can't tell.
Crazy, bro. It's crazy.
It has gotten to a point where a thumbs up emoji to some people is passive aggressive. How? How?
Because niggas don't know how to feel no more, bro.
How is this passive aggressive? I'm giving you the thumbs up. I'm giving you the okay. I'm giving you the keep doing your thing. I give you the thumbs up. I'm encouraging you. I'm not trying to be no passive aggressive towards nobody.
Yeah, I think Harris. That's motherfucking funny.
That's Harris. That's Harris.
That's Harris.
That's Harris.
Y'all want to fuck around. But on some real shit, yo. No, you're absolutely right because it's people don't. We losing so much, I'm trying my hardest, I'm trying my hardest to instill this shit in my kids, bro, because it's they're losing sense of reality. I don't know, bro. Like sense of humanity. Like everybody thinks that everything is supposed to be imitated. Everybody thinks that like the originality is becoming like is extinct because you see something and you want to imitate it. And now at this point, whether it be a challenge, whether it be whatever it is, my baby, damn, I gotta get used to that. That scared the shit out of me real quick. I got my whole new setup and my son just appeared in here. But everything is like imitated instead of like, there's still some originality, but you have to search for it, like we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
It's really weird, man. A human interaction, being able to touch somebody, even us, Kyle, we've been talking how many years now? Fucking 3, and
like three good years. One of these days we gonna hang out for real.
We definitely are. You think I'm planning a trip to Jersey, man, and I gotta come through Connecticut. I'm telling you right now, I'm probably gonna stop by.
Yeah,
because I want to stop by your neck of the woods. It shouldn't be too much out of my way or anything. So, but we're definitely gonna chill, go do something.
Most definitely. My place is small, but you're welcome.
Man, listen, bro. I'll sleep in the floor. I'm gonna fuck. But but just saying, like, human interaction has never been this easy to have without having to have people close. We can talk, we can meet, we can have dinner, we can do whatever the fuck we want to do together, apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a crazy ass way of understanding, but it is possible. It's a possibility, but it is taking something away from being in the same room with somebody and seeing their face and smelling them and getting all the senses.
Yep.
It's weird.
Like,
it's weird.
Like as Babe over here pointed out, we met through social media. We literally met through Facebook Messenger, but we met through mutual friends that we knew in real life. Like she's from my city, right? Yeah. We wouldn't have known that had she not, worked up the courage to, to talk to me and just to say thank you for the podcast. But, as far as I have more fun interacting with a hobo. There are moments. I get that. There are moments where I get that. I used to work, like anybody that's worked retail can understand that.
Oh shit! Listen, I've had some really close friends that I've met with retail, and I've also had some people that, man, listen. You think retail's bad? I used to have a fucking job where I was working at Aaron's, the place where you go and rent furniture and shit like that or whatever. And
Oh,
I used
like
to have
rent
to
to
be in
own?
this. Yeah,
Oh,
man. I used to have
cool.
to be in this truck. Me and this guy was in the truck. This kid, I couldn't stand this fucking kid, yo. And every day I woke up to go into work, and it was me and this motherfucker in a truck every day. And when I came to realization, I'm like, yo, how long can I stand this? I don't like this kid, but I'm literally like his fucking boyfriend and shit like that for 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, bro. I'm stuck. Like we in jail together and shit. And I'm sitting here like, how am I gonna make this happen? Like, I can't commit to I'm gonna be here for years, and he's gonna be here for years. And is this guy gonna be my best friend? No. So fuck that shit, bro. Like, that's one of the things about working, man. Like, you get stuck with people that you can't even tolerate. Like,
I met two of my best friends at a job I hated. Okay, seriously, I met two best friends at a job I hated. So I owe it that. I owe it that at least. I used to work at Price Chopper in Waterbury when it was open for it was only open for like 5 years, right? Yeah. But I met two of my dearest friends, my brothers now. I've known them for 20 years. Met them in 2004. That is an old sentence. Shit. And I'm gonna just sit with that for a little bit.
Yeah. It's good that you can have that bond though, bro. It's hard to fucking make friends and stay with them and and have them for like a long ass time at this point, man, in life. Yeah. And they're alive. Like, that's another fucking, maybe that's my world, but yeah, for sure.
I got deep. Yep.
Yeah, it's true, man. I come from a place where it's like, a lot of people that I used to know, unfortunately, man, whether it be the lifestyle they chose to live and or just like, people just kind of get sick and different things like that. But yeah, a lot of people I used to know, man, are not the ones that are here. I still got my brother here, and I don't talk to him as much as I should. And not for any purpose reason. It's just literally, man, you get caught up and you're just trying to make shit happen. And big ass family. It's hard to keep friendships strong, man. It's not even intentful at times. It's just life is just happening, man.
True.
But it's awesome, bro. But human interaction, that was a good one. That was a nice segue into what we were talking about. That was a really good top 5, man. I think
so too.
Kind of some real shit we talked about tonight. We've been having some fun lately with the nostalgia and everything. We ain't had some real kind of conversations like that in a minute. But that was pretty good. Kyle, we've been talking for over 2 hours, man. This has been an awesome fucking episode, man.
Excellent
I definitely have been happy. Guys, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this as well. If you haven't, then listen, we'll try again next week because we'll be here.
We will be here.
But next week we're gonna have another show, man. I'm not sure what we're talking about. We'll let you know as soon as we find out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out A for Able podcast with Kyle Eric. He's doing his thing over there, talking about some great things that you may want to know about as well. And also go check out Harris is Drinking, bro. He about to be coming on. He's on YouTube as well. If you guys want to head on over, if you ain't tired yet. And he got a whole funny conversation. He's a bartender and he talks about crazy shit as well as real shit. Harris be having some really great shows, man. So definitely go check out Harris is Drinking. I might be going over there as well. I'm definitely staying up, but I'm trying to figure out if I should get on another show and get tired or do the work that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm probably gonna go over there. Kyle, you got anything in closing, bro?
Yeah. Number one, great show, excellent show. Shout out to the chat. Thank you, everybody. Everybody for interacting with us and giving us these great points. And also, little plug over here. Check out A for Able on all Spotify. On all podcast platforms as well as the YouTube channel. It's a spot the A for Able podcast. We recently put out an episode with two great life coaches titled "Life is Not a Life Sentence." We live life. We're not just trying to survive. We're trying to live and enjoy life while we can, and we're not meant to just be miserable all day. We're meant to be joyful. We're meant to have our dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? It's for that kind of things. Life happens for you, not to you. You know?
Good. Really good, positive shit, bro. Definitely stuff that you need to hear. Special stuff you need to hear. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. I am going to be making clips. I know that I have been kind of lacking a little bit, but like I said, man, this is the time period where I am just trying to make sure I'm here every single week and talking to you guys because I am gearing up for a vacation.
where we won't be back until mid-September, but that'll be all the way in the middle of July. So we still got some time with you, and we're gonna have some fun while we're here. Until next week, baby. We back with the Beeline Whip Show on Tuesday. We have a brand new show for you. We didn't have a show this week, but we will be back on Tuesday with a brand new show. Until then, we're gonna tell you to stay true, stay positive, and make sure you're paying attention. Stop doom scrolling all the time. If you are gonna doom scroll, just make sure you're aware everything online ain't real. I don't give a fuck how real it looks. It ain't always real. So don't take it at face value, and be careful and look for stuff that you like to look for. And don't let life control you, just like Kyle just said right now, because it definitely will, especially if you're doom scrolling. But we out, y'all. I hope you have a great night, yo. Peace
and love.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you head on over to the Beeline Entertainment LLC YouTube channel, where we have so much more for you. We have the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, as well as Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesdays, and of course the Beeline Entertainment Show on Thursday night. Join us and make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, and of course subscribe with that bell button for the notifications, so you can make sure you're getting all the great content from the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Let's go!